Cow's World, Cow's World,
Party time.
excellent. We're just here shredding.
Welcome, everybody, to Bird's Nest Stadium in Georgetown, Kentucky on a beautiful, I will say, autumnal Friday night in October. We're getting ready for the national anthem. We were going to welcome you and talk about the game. We'll do that on the other side as the band will play the national anthem, and we'll be rejoining you shortly. Excellent job with the anthem. We are back. I'm Cal Oakes, joined by Derek Varney, as always. Scott County's home for the fourth consecutive week. This is their next to last regular season home game. We won't unofficially tell you when the date of the Douglas Scott County game is. We've heard a date, but the I's have to be dotted and the T's have to be crossed. Suffice it to say, it'll be late in the season. Scott County has a little bit of a road swing coming up tonight. They welcome the Ryle Raiders from Union, Kentucky, up in Boone County. Coming down, it's the second half of a home and home. Scott County went up there last year, and it was a one-sided win for SC. SC was coming off its loss to Douglas last year and routed Ryle 57-21, took out a lot of frustrations on the Raiders that night. They'll be the heavy favorite again tonight as they are 3-0 for the 8th consecutive year, are the Cardinals, looking to go 4-0 for the 3rd straight season. They will get into district play as they have Grant County next week and Montgomery County the week after that. Both very much winnable games, you would think, as well. So things moving right along for SC, ramping up nicely. But the first part of the schedule has been challenging, Derek. I mean, I think we look back on that Bryant Station game especially, and that's a win now that looks a lot better than it did on opening night.
Oh, absolutely. Bryant Station came in here and just played our tails off. I mean, we didn't think we have to have a block extra point. Really was the difference there in that ball game, as we discussed how important those are. And I think they're going to have a fine season. And then you turn around here and you got to play Great Crossing, which played us much tougher than a lot of people thought. I mean, they're up and coming. And then last week's game, I mean, it was just it was. I thought a great performance by Scott. I thought it was almost flawless coming from the 20-some. 12 turnovers from the great
17 penalties.
17 penalties, and
it was a mess.
It was a mess, and I thought they looked sharp and crisp last week. So I'm anxious to see, what Ryle, their program. They're always hard nosed, rugged, just strong Northern Kentucky program.
Yeah, last week's game was 14-14 until late in the first half, and then kind of a double possession. Scott County scored at the end of the first half, and again at the beginning of the second to stretch it out. Ended up winning 42-14. You look at computer rankings, GRC and Ryle very close, right on top of one another in 6A. So should be a similar opponent, an opponent that's capable, certainly, of doing some things. One of the storybook games in my short time here in Scott County was against Ryle in 2016. It was the regional championship. Tanner Morgan was the quarterback for Ryle. Of course, he's at the University of Minnesota. A couple of years later, they also had a running back by the name of Jake Chisholm, who led all of FCS in all-purpose yards at Dayton last year. So they've had some athletes, some studs in recent years. That game in 16 was won by a goal line interception by Glenn Covington in the final seconds. It was right down to the wire, as was the next week unfortunately, in a loss on a 2-point conversion that went awry at Lafayette, but they had to go for it twice thanks to some extenuating circumstances. But that was quite a season, and Ryle was a big part of that and put up a good fight against SC. We expect nothing less from that program. They have been a little bit down. They are 1-2 coming in, but that's deceiving. They lost last week, 35-14 to Beechwood. Now Beechwood put a big test on Covcath, lost by 2 points to Covington Catholic. So the fact that you can hang around a little bit with Beechwood, I don't know how close that game was, but on paper, 35-14, it's a couple of plays. So we expect this one to be a fight, certainly at least early, and Scott County will have to, as you said, avoid the penalties, avoid the turnovers. And you also mentioned the kicks. They have blocked a kick or kicks in every game, and we're talking extra points, we're talking punts. Even when they don't block the punt, they get to it, and they end up with good field position. They force a shank or something of that nature.
I was thinking today, well, I'm going the over 2 tonight on block kicks.
They blocked one, as I recall, last year against at least one, and turned it into points. So, Ryle's well aware of Scott County's ability. It's Campton Martin. We want to mention him. He leads not just 5A, but the entire state of Kentucky with 4 interceptions. That's significant in 3 games because the school record for Scott County is 11 by Cooper Robb. I thought that would never even be touched. He's on pace to break that. I mean, it's like saying a major league hitter is on pace to hit 162 home runs. We're early in the season. But still, to have 4 in 3 games in a short season and be on pace to have double digits is phenomenal. Montego Jones, the number 5 rusher in 6A, he's close to 500 yards on the season, so he's on pace to become the latest 1,000-yard back for the Cardinals. Defensively, in addition to Campton Martin, A.J. Young has been outstanding. They have 7 guys with double-digit tackles already, and that really speaks to what this defense does there.
Oh, I was going to say A.J. Young. If you were mentioned and records and where our kids stand in the state, he's got to be somewhere there because every time the ball, if somebody's tackled, he gets up off the tackle. Yeah. I mean, he's really hard and those good. We saw him knock himself out, I guess, in the first game against Bryan Station and come right back in, and he had the next 3 or 4 tackles. So just just a hungry kid, just a nose for the ball. And, that speaks volumes for Coach Monty McIntyre. Now, you can't teach what A.J. Young has, and that's the ticker there.
The motor, yeah.
Absolutely.
A.J. Young, Cade Tackett, and Jeremy Hamilton. I think of those as 3 guys who hurt themselves as much as they hurt the opponent when they hit them sometimes. But they, as you said, come right back. And it's they get the job done, and it's everybody to the ball. They put 3 or 4 hats on it, and that's why this team always among the state leaders in turnovers forced and kicks blocked and everything else. Because as you said, it's all out all the time. Looks like they're going to be ready before the clock even winds down here to kick this thing off. So we're not going to object to that. We're big fans of an early start whenever we have a chance. Scott County will receive. It will be the aforementioned Campton Martin back along with Jeremy Hamilton. They rarely get the ball kicked in their direction. It's almost like these teams know. This is an interesting formation, too. You can't say it's a surprise onside kick if they try it because we have 5 guys on each side, and now they're lining up in a more traditional formation. And they will kick it deep to Hamilton, who is inside the 5. He'll take it at his 2. He'll get it back to the 20 where he runs in the middle of a pile into his own man.
Very nice coverage.
And it's covered well just shy of the 20-yard line where the Cardinals will go to work with Zane Patton, the senior quarterback, completing just over 50% of his passes on the season. But it's been mostly play-action stuff and dump-offs. This is, of course, a run-oriented team, as we said, led by Montego Jones, but Campton Martin also with 6 rushing touchdowns, and Jeremy Hamilton.
Campton Martin is always just running downhill. I mean, that you'll see when he gets the ball. I mean, remember last week you and I got confused thinking Zane Patton kept one, and we're like, man, he's fast.
The stiff arm should have given it away. He has that Heisman stiff arm.
Not that Zane isn't fast.
Tossed at Jeremy Hamilton with lots of room, but it closed up quickly. He picked up 5 before he was tackled by number 2 from Ryle. That is Matthias Cusick.
Usually it's the opposite there, Cal, where Scott County opens up usually with Tago up the middle. Now we did a little quick pitch to Jeremy to see if we can get to the outside.
Call it a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. They will give it to Tago this time. He will run it to the left, push ahead for about 3. It'll be 3rd and short. As Ryle with several guys there for the stop. Number 87, Wilson Pendleton, was one, along with number 21, their leading tackler, Gabe Savage. 3rd and 3.
What a name for the leading tackler.
Gabe Savage.
I like that.
Savagery.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It'll be a handoff to Montego Jones up the middle. He'll have the first down. He'll be over the 30 to about the 32.
Everything starts up front, Cal. As you can see, those big linemen get going. You see they got a little pep in their step tonight, and they're getting downhill. And I'm gonna say that quite often because when those guys come downhill on you, look out. We're gonna gain some yards.
3 yards and a cloud of tire rubber, I guess, since they're playing on turf. 1st and 10 from the 32. Again, Tego, the second man through is Hamilton. He's got all kinds of room on the right end. 40 up to midfield, cuts it back to the left. He's knocked down at the 42 of Ryle, but Jeremy Hamilton picks up a bundle. Call it 20 into Ryle territory. The Raiders on their heels now already.
Beautiful run. That's 24 yards and 2 carries for Jeremy Hamilton, and they're both on the outside.
And he's the guy that probably needs to get on track. We've seen a lot from Jones and Martin, but Hamilton hasn't had those big gainers yet, but there's probably his longest run of the season. A little bit of a busted play, a little hesitation on the pitch to Martin, but they complete that, and Martin gains 4 to the 38. It's a run by number 5, the senior. All purpose, as we mentioned, one of the leading tacklers, 4 interceptions, block kicks all over the place. Derek's going to close a door here. We felt the draft. There goes Montego Jones, but there's a flag. It may come back.
Had the glare from the
looks like it'll be marched off against the Cardinals, so that will be all for naught. Jones was taken down inside the 15, but it will be a hold back here at the point of attack.
There's a hold, but I'm big chunks of yard right now, Cal. It's a good sign. Good sign. Good offensive possession right here.
Yeah, they are running downhill, as you say. It'll be marked at the 45, so he was pretty well downfield before they threw the flag. It'll only be 1st and 12. Was it after the play? No, that's right. There was a run before that by Kent Martin. So it is 2nd down at 12. Martin on the outside, right side. He jukes a man. He gets the first down and more inside the 20 where he's knocked out of bounds by Lucas Kohlmeyer, number 1 from Ryle on the far sideline. But it's another first down for the Cardinals, or is it? Are they marching another penalty off here?
Well, they're going back a little far for the huddle if they're not.
Yeah, there is some laundry down at the 33, so that's 2 in a row.
Outside there.
2 in a row that have been wiped out, at least partially. And it will remain 2nd down, and that'll be like no harm, no foul. It's 2nd and 12.
It's very frustrating for Coach McKee, but in the back of his mind, he's saying, look at the yards we're gaining. And they're not gaining that because of that one hold on the outside. Now, it may help a little bit.
That was all gained on Martin as you saw the juke at around the 35-yard line, and he took off down the sideline. They will try it again wide with
this one's
Saylor.
Yep.
Jackson Saylor with all kinds of room. We've said that a couple of times already. Is there a flag? No, there is not. It'll be 1st down, Scott County at the 22.
They just keep running.
Saylor with a gain of 23.
Same kind of, it's kind of delayed where you got a couple fakes up the middle, and then you're hitting the jet sweep guy there with the handoff, and it's just wide open on the outside.
Until they can stop it or prove that they can get anywhere near it, you might as well keep on trucking. There's Jones up the middle. He'll get to the 20 before he's stacked up. Ryle's pretty much all over him right now. But it will help the more they can gain on the outside. You'll see that open up as the night goes on.
The middle's a little clogged, isn't it?
A little bit right now. 2nd and 8. Actually, probably be 2nd and a long 8. It's just shy of the 20. But Scott County has driven from its own 20 here in the first 3 minutes of the game, despite a couple of flags holding them back.
Really nice drive.
It has been impressive, especially on the perimeter. Patton under center. Counter to Hamilton. He gets inside the 15, taken down at the 13, close to another first down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Little counter action there, and Hamilton, who Ryle would see running around the outside there, comes right off over tackle right there.
Just love the mix of plays here, just like what you said. That was a different look from Hamilton there, different look from the offense. Executed it well. Hand off to Jones. No surprise on 3rd and short. He will get the first down almost to the 10. Again, stacked up, but Scott County will move the sticks. They'll have a chance to gain another first down without scoring. They'll be marked at about, now it's at the 12, so still a first down. Scott County.
You're looking at 4 or 5 first downs in the first possession. That's
incredible. They have gained 68 yards to this point on this first drive. Nice play action fake for the end zone, but it's overthrown. Closest man was from Ryle. It's Savage on the coverage. It falls incomplete. It will be 2nd and 10.
The Macho Man covered that one well.
Down that aisle.
That's right.
Those were the days.
Yes, sir.
Snap into a Slim Jim. 2nd and 10 for the Scott County Cardinals at the Ryle 12. Outside is Martin I could have run for that first down and maybe the touchdown. He is in
there it is again.
For his 7th score of the year with 8:03 to play, and it was an easy one.
I'll tell you what's improved tremendously, Cal, is the ball handling by Zane Patton. I mean, there's a reason he's by himself out there. You know, it's the fakes and the way Zane is positioning his footwork and then getting the ball handed off to the proper running back. It's impressive.
High level of confidence and execution from the senior quarterback. 10-play, 80-yard drive culminates in the 12-yard score by Campton Martin, the senior halfback / defensive back / special teams nightmare. Jacob Bange kicks the extra point with 8:03 remaining in the first quarter. It's the Scott County Cardinals 7, the Ryle Raiders nothing. Here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network, on newsgraphic.com and NFHS Network. I am Cal Oakes along with Derek Varney. And Derek, how about those sponsors that make it happen for us?
Absolutely. Thank you so much to, again, as you mentioned, that make it happen for us. We couldn't do any of this without these sponsors. Bluegrass Orthopedics, serving athletes of all ages. Georgetown News Graphic.
They make it happen.
Absolutely.
I couldn't do anything without the
You could
Georgetown
not. You could not. Without the signature on that check there, Cal.
Amen, brother.
Denise King, certified public accountant for the tax and auditing needs. Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, buying and selling made easy. Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Kentucky.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Clark's Pumping Shop, return, refresh, refuel. Clark's Pumping Shop with 3, soon to be 4 Georgetown locations. Georgetown Community Hospital, where health and safety remain our number one priority. West Banco, by all accounts, better. Greens Toyota of Lexington. Great people, great cars. Think Greens.
Bange angles it to the corner. Ryle takes it at the 25. It's Savage on the return. He's up over the 40. He'll get it to just shy of the 45. So Ryle in good field position to start its first drive.
Very nice field position. Good return. A couple more we'd like to thank. Just leaving off there. Oser Paint and Flooring. Your hometown paint and flooring connection. Scott County Veterinarian Clinic. We love and treat your pets like our own. Come join us at Scott County Veterinarian Clinic family. People's Bank, working together, building success. Come see us at 101 Canewood Center Drive.
Braden Lyons is the quarterback for Ryle. He's in the shotgun formation. Single back should be Matthias Cusick. Lyons will look to throw. He sidesteps the rush downfield into good coverage, but it's complete for a first down at the Scott County 44. It'll be Jamison Smith on the catch. Ryle has 4 guys with 5 or more receptions, so they like to spread it out as the spread offenses want to do. And Ryle will move the chains into Scott County territory with an impressive first strike.
Yeah, absolutely. You come out and you know, majority of the teams don't open up and pass in high school.
Run by Cusick on the left side. He will take it down to the 40 where he's upended. Couple of cards, and of course they're wearing the black numbers on the red jerseys tonight, so your guess is as good as mine. I think number 61 is in there, Spencer Wood. No, it might be 41K Tackett. I apologize. Lord only knows. It is 2nd and 6 at the Scott County 40. Ryle in some business here, trailing 7-0. Throw is almost picked off. Diving was A.J. Young, and Jeremy Hamilton was also there behind it, but it falls incomplete.
He had a man do an out route and a man go in, almost a crisscross, and he threw it right in between them.
Braden Lyons has been intercepted 4 times this year, and we mentioned Campton Martin has 4 picks, so that may not be a good situation for Ryle. Lyons has completed now 29, or actually make it 30 out of 66 if you count the 1 for 2 in this contest. Ryle comes in 1 and 2 on the season. Carry by Cusick. He finds room up the middle. He'll hop and skip his way to a first down inside the Scott County 30. So nice little trap play there.
Yeah, this you can tell this Ryle offense. You see, they go momentum right here as well.
Yeah, the tempo is quick for the Raiders
right
as Lyons looks to the sideline, but already a man in motion. Number 20 in the slot is Smith. Again, it's Cusick behind Lyons. They do the run-pass option, as so many teams do. Now split out in motion will be Cusick. Lyons with a quick slant. It's caught, and that's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
He pulled away from a bad arm tackle at about
tackling.
the 15, and Grayson Barber is in the end zone for a 28-yard Ryle touchdown with 6:34 to go. No. Woo, that was impressive.
Yeah, very nice.
Grayson Barber on the touchdown catch for the Ryle Raiders, and they strike right back.
I tell you what, that's Scott County defense is shaking their heads coming off the field. They got to prepare now. I mean, that's an offense with a lot of weapons. That offensive set there. They lined up trips out wide and had one receiver over to the left, and the little wing back coming out of the backfield.
It's a defense that comes into this game with a lot of confidence, but you got to guard against overconfidence. It's looked easy at times for them. That kick is good, which we don't say very often. No, it isn't. Nope, it's wide. He kicked it wide. I thought it was good. It looked like it's put the uprights from here. I've got a little paneling in my way if I don't lean far enough. They didn't block it, but they put enough pressure on it to keep the lead, 7-6 Scott County, with 6:34 remaining here in the first quarter.
The ever so important PAT.
Yeah, and it seems like more often than not, they go awry for visiting teams that come in here to play the Cardinals. So an impressive drive by the Raiders from their own 45. Didn't take them long to move down the field. Couple of throws over the middle. And Grayson
5
Barber,
plays, 6 plays?
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah. Grayson Barber with the 28-yard TD reception from Braden Lyons.
A couple more we'd like to thank here as our sponsors and make all this possible. Time to Shine Car Wash. Your car will shine at Time to Shine Car Wash. 8 Lexington area locations to serve you. Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to meet all your insurance needs. Burger King, home of the Whopper, 2 Georgetown locations. And Domino's Pizza. Come check out our new Georgetown location on the corner of Champion Way and US 25. Thanks again to all of our sponsors.
Indeed, and once again, thanks to the mothership at the News Graphic, Tuesdays and Fridays, every Tuesday and Friday, and online 24/7. The kick will bounce to the 4 before Hamilton picks it up. He won't get back to the 20 this time, so the Cards will have to they have the work cut out for them again. They'll take over on their own 18.
As Coach McKee, you can tell, is hollering to him to pick the ball up.
Ryle not afraid to kick deep against Scott County, which is surprising, but it's paid off for them twice as they have pinned the Cardinals.
I got a little feeling about this Ryle team there, Cal. I mean, I can tell their aggressiveness. They were aggressive on offense. They made some, that Scott County did first possession, just mow through them. But I like the way they play. They're you can tell they're very well coached.
Dare I say they are riled up for this game?
They are riled. Yes, they are.
They will run wide again with Saylor. He's got some room that quickly closed down on him. Nice pursuit there by the Ryle defense. The white shirts were there, number 21 and number 2. Two's live, Cusick rather. Matthias Cusick and number 21, which of course doesn't exist on my roster.
So Cusick goes both ways. He was the good running back.
He is their leading rusher. Up the middle, after the first contact, Montego Jones gained about another 5 yards. He'll take it up to the 26, be 3rd and short again, 3rd and 2 for the Cardinals. That's just Tago being Tago right there. As we said, coming in just shy of 500 yards for the season, 5th in 5A.
He'll start hammering up the middle, and you'll see him as
you'll see here as he spins and drags and kicks and screams to the 45.
Oh boy.
That's a gain of 19 yards for the junior.
Matter of time.
They have got it on all cylinders. They'll mark it back at the 44. Give him 18 on the carry. Cardinals have it working inside and outside so far, if you subtract the 2 penalties, and they shook those off on the first drive. Hand off to Martin, right side. He makes one man miss, but again, Ryle finds a way to shut it down. They've got good speed laterally. Martin tackled at his own 49, call it a gain of 5.
And as you just mentioned, he's always so good about making the first man. He's not tackled by one guy. He's not tackled upon contact, and that is so important for a really good running back. And Martin is he's every bit of that.
He's just a classic high school football player. Stands about probably 5'9", 5'10", maybe 160 pounds. You see him on the field after a game. It's not imposing, but boy, he's a block of granite when you try to bring him down. He gets the carry again on a toss play to the left. He gets into Ryle territory down to the 48. So again, 3rd and 2. Scott County, other than the penalties, as we mentioned, has done a good job staying in those positive down and distance situations.
Very good. They just keep moving the chains.
Patton hands off. First man through is Montego Jones. He'll have another first down to the Raiders 42. Cardinals just chugging down the field once again. Clock stops to move the chains. 4:21 remaining first quarter.
So impressed about Montego Jones. He just doesn't come out of the game either. He doesn't ask for a breather. He's out there every time, every single play.
Cards since the fourth quarter of the Bryan Station game, I believe, have only punted twice. This has been pretty surgical since then. Up the middle goes Tego after a series of fakes and before a series of fakes.
I didn't know who was going to hand it to.
He was still trying to fake us all out even after the handoff.
I did not know who he was going to hand it to.
There was no gain. It's 2nd and 10. Ball at the Ryle 42. Scott County playing yet another 6A opponent. McKee likes to count Great Crossing, even though they're technically 5A. He'll tell you this is the 4th consecutive 6A enrollment they have played to start the season. Spinning to the 40, but not any more than that, is Montego Jones, who is knocked to the deck, and it will be 3rd and a long 8.
Yes, this is a good defensive possession by Ryle right here.
They shut it down after the long gain by Jones. And that was really all that they had significant on this drive. It's been nickel and dime, certainly. Campton Martin on the sideline right now. I don't know if it's an equipment issue or what. Maybe just the alternating between he and Jeremy Hamilton. It's nice when they're both out there, but right now it's Saylor at the other halfback position. He will hand it to Hamilton, who fumbles, and it's recovered by Ryle at the 45. Looks like Cusick fell on it.
Yep. Looks like they ran into each other. Had a really bad exchange.
I don't think he ever had the handle on that exchange, and it was a bad play from the start, and Ryle makes them pay as Matthias Cusick picks it up with 2:45 remaining in the first quarter. So Ryle back in business, trailing 7-6.
Defense quickly on the field. You got to put that one behind you, get a good stop here, and get your offense back out there.
Raiders with as good a start as they could have hoped to have had, I think, for them. Another throw, straight drop, all day to throw. Deep over the middle, complete.
That is a beautiful
They are
ball.
finding some seams in the secondary as Will Watkins, he threw a dime down to the 20-yard line, and Watkins tackled at the 19.
Cal, he had no choice but to catch that. He put it right between these numbers from about 35 yards.
Will Watkins with the big play.
Ooh.
And the Raiders are in the red zone trying to take a lead late here in the first quarter.
Coach McIntyre says, hang on here, boys. We need to take a little break.
Not what we expected out of the chute for Scott County, coming in, of course, at 3-0, as we said, ranked number 6 in the state in the Associated Press media poll, and also in the Max Preps computer rankings. They are number 17 overall in Max Preps in Kentucky. Yeah, the ball will be marked just inside the 20 actually it's at the 19. So Scott County's defense has to come up with a stand and a stop here.
Let's see if Coach McIntyre gave him a little talking to right there.
I think they had something going on after the timeout.
They got to slow this pass down. My goodness.
He had all day to throw it, and he dropped one right in the bucket. And there's another good run by Ryle out to the 13 before it is taken down. It's not Cusick this time. I think it's Jace Harden, number 11. He only came in with 5 carries on the season. So Ryle really mixing it up early.
A lot of weapons.
Getting a lot of different touches here.
Yes.
2nd and 4 for the Raiders at the Cardinal 13.
They have both things going. When you running game and passing game, good gracious.
Another throw by Lyons to the sideline. Incomplete as it was underthrown. Couldn't get his hands under it. The intended receiver over there looked again like Jamison Smith, who caught a pass on the initial touchdown drive. Of course, the first touchdown was caught by Grayson Barber, and now Watkins on this drive caught the bomb. So he's found 3 different receivers for a very significant pass play already.
They run good routes, and they're in the seams. What they're doing,
Running play is sniffed out by the Cardinals for a loss. Number 77, as always, there, Cam Keller. The tackle for loss has become an art form for the Cardinals early in the season. They hadn't had one tonight, but they get one at a good time there as they knock them back for 2. It'll be 4th and 6. They will try a medium-range field goal here. It's going to be beyond 31 yards.
Comes our first block, Cal.
They just missed a PAT. I don't know if they've watched much film.
Looks like they have it covered on the edge over here.
Yep, they do. As Martin almost got there. It is good.
It's good from a long distance.
Indeed.
Would have been good from a longer distance.
Franklin Rogers is the kicker for Ryle, and he knocks it through from 31. And the Raiders are on top 9-7. Kind of an NFL score with 1:19 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, I've seen 2 impressive drives. Great defensive stand right there by Scott County after, Ryle's kind of doing what they want, and Scott County steps up and gets a big stop there on 3rd down.
Ryle with confidence in their kicker. They ran that play toward the middle of the field, I think, knowing that if he didn't get it, they were going to have a good shot.
There's just something about them. I told you that earlier. There's something about them and just the way their energy and the way they're, I tell a lot about body language, and it seems like this Ryle team is like, we're going to play at Scott County. Who cares? Let's go.
They're seen this movie before. These guys, nobody from this team was on that 2016 team, but I bet some of them were on the sidelines or behind the rope that night in the grandstands. I don't think they're overwhelmed by the thought of coming down here. Of course, that was at Toyota Stadium. We are at the Bird's Nest tonight. Hamilton having trouble getting a handle on the ball tonight. He picks it up at about the 3.
That's hurt us twice.
Ryle takes him down at the 15. That's about the 3rd time that he has juggled the football. Once turned into a turnover, and now a couple of kicks.
He's come off the field a couple times. I've noticed. I watch the guys that come off, and Jeremy's not moving right. As you see him right now, head down, kind of coming over. And I talked to Coach McKee, and Coach McKee just says, Campton Martin and Jeremy Hamilton have to stay on the field. I don't want them tapping their helmets. I want them on the field because they just make us that much better.
Coach McKee talked to me about his relationship with Campton last week after the game. I don't know if anybody saw the quotes in the news graphic, but compared it a lot to Scott Daniels. Said when Scotty Daniel played, we weren't best friends. We're great friends now that he's an adult and I'm an adult and we can hang out. And here's a long run by Montego Jones. He gets them into good field position from inside the 15 all the way up to the 46. Tego with a gain of 30+. Just to continue that thought, Coach McKee says, sometimes I get after Campton. Sometimes he doesn't really love me, but we need more and more and more. And I'm going to push him and push him and push him because he's got to be on the field for every play, basically.
Absolutely.
Montego Jones, another one that has to be on the field and is on the field for every play. And we just saw it from him there. The long gain, they'll go right back to him. Jones will pick up 3 more. Stop shy of midfield, but once again, Scott County rolling downhill. Last one was sabotaged by a turnover last series. We have 42 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
I haven't got my tight end play yet, have I, Cal?
No, they tried to run it in the end zone there, I believe. They will run wide. A different look this time, as we have not seen Thomas Fikert, number 13, at all in that situation. And Fikert gets taken down for a big loss. It will be 3rd and long. That's one of those plays that after the game, McKee will say, "Why did I call that play?
Right.
I did a terrible job." It's 2nd and 12. He says he critiques this broadcast, so I want to do my impersonation, see what he thinks of it. He can critique it. Another timeout, but it's going to be a 3rd and long situation that we know Scott County's not really adept at those. Nope, it'll be a change of ends because the time will expire here in the first period. Scott County down after 12 minutes, 9-7 is your score here on the Bird's Nest Broadcast Network. Cardinals finding some difficulty early with the Raiders. Raiders, we mentioned 1-2. They beat Boone County 39-8 in week 1. Lost at home to Highlands. Highlands always a tough opponent, whether you play them in Fort Thomas at that very unique stadium of theirs. In this case, it was at Ryle down in the bowl under the pirate ship where Highlands pulled off the 23-14 win. And then last week we said went to Beechwood and played a team fairly tough that had pushed 5A, number 1 or number 2, depending on which poll you look at, defending state champion Covington Catholic. Pushed them right to the limit before fading in a 35-14
Well, that's
loss.
a machine, isn't it? Jeez,
Covcast, my
factory.
goodness. Well, yeah, they just crank them out. Football, basketball, you name it.
Yeah.
Patton over the middle to Martin, wide open. He has a touchdown rushing. Now he's got one receiving. 56 yards. Patton to Martin.
Was that just the wheel route there? I looked down to grab our stats from the stat.
McKee says you can only run it once in the game, and he beat 2 guys down the field and left them in the dust. First play of the second quarter goes for 6.
He's getting on somebody there. That's Campton. I think Campton threw a hand up at the.
Didn't like the celebration.
He did not. He threw a hand up at the defender as he was crossing the goal line, and he got stopped for it by Coach McKee.
Did he get ticketed by the officials? I didn't see a flag down.
I don't think so. He got more than ticketed by Coach McKee.
That's not Scott County football.
No,
it's not the Cardinal way, as they would say about Bill Belichick. Not the Patriot way, not the Cardinal way. Especially when you're losing before that. Up until that play, you're down 9-7 in the second quarter.
Right.
There's really nothing to be showboating about, and Campton knows that.
Right. And you want to say act like you've been there before, Campton? You've been there several times.
He's been there 8 times already in 3 games plus a quarter and plus a few seconds. Kick by Bange is good. He is perfect on PATs, and he gets a lot of chances with 11:52 remaining in the half. Scott County forges back on top with a big pass play. We don't always say that, do we?
Nice. Good for Zane Patton.
Yeah, Patton with his second TD pass of the year. He had the one to Cam Lay back in week 2, early in the Great Crossing game, I believe it was.
It was,
But opening play of the second quarter here. Coach McKee said he kind of saved the play action stuff last week. Didn't really need it. They wanted to use it a little more, but
I think a lot of that comes from you saw the couple big runs that Montego busted up the middle. So there you go. You got those linebackers start creeping up, and lo and behold, we get in behind them there, and there's Mr. Martin.
14-9 is your score. Very early in the second quarter, as we mentioned. That was the first play from scrimmage. We got a good one going here in G-Town on a beautiful Friday night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're not afraid, but they're doing well against the run, except they having a little trouble with Mr. Montego Jones, and I think that's probably going to continue.
It's going to get a little bit worse for them, as I always like pointing out. Midway through the third quarter, watch that defensive line as Scott County's offensive line just has continued to lay on them.
As I like to say, death from 1,000 paper cuts is what it is when you're trying to defend against Montego Jones. Tonight he's had the 2 big runs. That kick will go out of bounds, and Ryle will get good field position once again. They've had it every time tonight. They've scored a touchdown. They've scored a field goal. Scott County hasn't stopped them yet. They gonna make them kick it again? I guess so.
Coach McKee a little uneasy this evening.
Yeah, he wants to see his team be sharp, and but this is about the time of year he usually says we look like we think we've arrived when they play like this.
Yes.
They think they've accomplished something with a 3-0 start, and it's impressive. But sometimes you need a team like this to come in and shake you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, as coaches, you can't know how good your team is. They have to know. Each individual player has to know that, hey, we're better than this.
And the way we've said, the way the season's ramping up, they're going to have a good run here before they're going to be tested with the big one against Douglas. It will either be week 8 or week 9. We'll probably be able to tell you more about that in the coming week. It's going to be a long road swing before that as Grant County, Montgomery County, and Ballard stacked up back to back to back. And possibly, depending on how that last 2 weeks shakes out, maybe a game against Lafayette. So Scott County could still play 9 games. We'll see how it all goes. Great Crossing has swapped out. Originally, they were going to play Franklin County. I think they decided against that, being a 2-year deal, and they will play Henry Clay later in the season on Halloween weekend. So potentially looking at even more home games than we counted on. Kickoff by Bange, 5 yards back. It will be a shorty to the 35, and a good head of steam for Ryle again into Scott County territory. He won't be taken down until he gets to the 38-yard line. That is number 12.
that's a good place, good field position to start out.
I want to give the man full credit. It's Abram Cusick. I bet they're brothers,
Yes.
Matthias and Abram. A couple of good old biblical sounding names, Old Testament / New Testament. It's at the 37, so Ryle is. We know they can kick it too, so they're not far from their field goal range.
Nope, they're in business right here.
The Raiders. This is reminiscent of that 2016 game where whoever got the first stop was going to win.
Yep. The Raiders.
Yeah, it was stressful in my house last Sunday. As Mrs. Oakes is a Raiders fanatic, and I obviously am a Patriot guy, but I came out in front in that one as I have for the past 20 years.
Yes, you did.
In trouble is the quarterback, almost a strip sack. He had to hold on to the ball. It was a party of three that met at the quarterback.
That's
Isaac Krebs was there. Spencer Wood was there.
The usual suspects.
And maybe one other head on the ball. It's a loss, a big loss. 10 yards back to the 47. 2nd and 20 for the Raiders. And it will be another throwing down. They wanted to throw on first down. Now I think they're going to have to throw on second. Braden Lyons, he scrambles again. He can't get out of the way. Back-to-back sacks for the Cardinal defense.
Yeah, the Scott County defense.
Once again, Wood was there, and I think A.J. Young got in on it as well. Nope, Cade Tackett looks like.
Lit a fire under them.
Third and forever and a day for the Raiders at their own 48. A drive that started at the Scott County 37. It is tipped and picked, almost picked, and then dropped by Campton Martin, who slaps his hands on his helmet as if to say he knew that was going the other way for 6. And that was what probably caused him that moment of inattention.
That was almost one of Campton's easier ones that he's had this year.
He's made some one-handed. He's caught him with his forearm and cradled them back in. It's crazy how he's had tougher ones than that for sure.
And you know they're going after this punt.
This would be the time they usually come after. They always come after it. The snap is a little high. They get it off. It will take a hop.
Nice punt.
Inside the 10, and Scott County is going to be pinned at its own 1 yard line.
Beautiful
Make
job.
It the half.
I think the ladder's coming.
Yeah, I think that's your safest bet.
Just Tego. It's a lot of man.
Mike, you're in good hands with Allstott.
Mike. Ooh.
And a penalty. If it's on Scott County, that's going to cost them about 1/4 of a yard.
That's all you can do.
It's not much of a distance, half the distance from the goal, as Bill Holland tells the crowd.
Yep, you just got to plow this one out and hope that something breaks right here, Cal.
They are at the 1 line, as Chris Berman would say. We've quoted him enough times.
Yes.
They're going to throw it from their own end zone. That would have been a school record if he had caught it and gone the distance, but it's overthrown. I can guarantee that would have been a school record because you cannot get any closer to your own goal line.
Ooh, that was nice right there.
But it falls incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Was the intended receiver? Was that Garner?
Yes.
10:20 to play in this first half. It's been a good first half, entertaining, not perfectly played by any stretch of the imagination.
Nope. 2nd and 10.
Looks like Tego, the safe bet, gets to about the 1.5, maybe the 2, so a little bit of room. You want to get room for Campton Martin to punt it at this point. I was going to say,
that's the key right now, what you're thinking. Of course, you like the bust one right here for, 10, 15 yards, but, man, you got to think about if you do have to punt.
3rd and 9, we'll call it. At its own 2, Scott County. Patton, the fake, and he's almost sacked. He gets rid of it. Luttrell was down there. It was way underthrown, and that could have been disastrous. Luckily for Scott County, it fell incomplete. And they will have to punt from their own end zone, from their own back line of the end zone, with 9:43 remaining, and the clock stops in the second quarter. And a good turn of events if you're the Ryle Raiders here, as they have flipped the field, to say the least, after a bad series for them offensively.
That's, and that's just, again, the little things. That's your punter right there, to be able to place one down with inside the 5-yard line. Beautiful.
It's marked at the 1.5. Looks like they even moved it back after an incomplete pass. So Martin will be standing. He's got to be careful not to step on the back line. He's got to be careful not to put his knee down.
Catch it and get rid of it.
It's a fairly good kick under the circumstances. Caught and juggled and muffed at the 40. Scott County will be all over it, and that's about the best they could have hoped for. Ryle will start this drive where they started their last one, at the Cardinal 38 with 9:33 to play. Now they mark it at the 40, so who knows? These officials, you got the judge on the sideline is standing right at the 38, and now they're going to move it up. So there you go. It will be the 38.
On the 38, yep.
So first impression was the correct one. Cardinals defense, a lot has been asked of them, comparatively speaking, to the past couple of weeks, although both Great Crossing and GRC had their moments too, but by and large the defense has stood tall this season. They're going to have to do it tonight against Ryle, it would appear, as the Raiders have come in here confident they can win. They're down 14-9. They've been in Scott County territory on every drive.
Good offensive possession.
A sweep to the right, and he will take it out of bounds to about the 30, almost to the marker. That's the other brother. Is it Abram Cusick?
Other brother with the same mother.
They will have 2nd and 2. Nope, call it. Yeah, it will be 2nd and 2 at the 30. So Ryle, as you said, they've mixed it up. They throw it over the middle. They run wide. They run it up the middle with some success. Here comes a keeper for the quarterback out of the Wildcat formation. It is number 1 lined up back there. So it is not the QB. It's Lucas Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer will get the first down to the Scott County 26. And they will stick with it, it looks like, as Kohlmeyer is back there.
Absolutely.
Trying some different things this series.
They'll probably do that, the same little Wildcat play there to the left. Or, scary part about this guy, he might be able to throw the ball.
Did Lions get banged up on that last series? I don't know.
Handoff.
Time will tell. First down carry up the middle. They don't get much. Couple of yards to the 24. Gabe Savage, we've called his name defensively, his leading tackler, only his 7th carry of the season. So they are getting a lot of people's hands on the football here in the first half, are the Ryle Raiders.
I wonder if there is a little injury report there on Lions.
It's Kohlmeyer on this drive exclusively. He will get wrapped up. There's a flag. I think they're going to be marked off for another 10. He didn't gain much. It is holding, so we'll go from 2nd and 8 to about 2nd and 20.
Yeah, and I think Lions is back in.
So what they were trying there is no longer going to work when you can't keep it in a good down and distance situation. That is Lyons, Braden Lyons.
Yep.
He was 3 for 5 for 76 yards in the first quarter. They only carried the ball 4 times, so they really did mix it up. Lyons in the shotgun. His pocket closing quickly, and another sack, the 3rd in short order. They'll help him up.
Yeah, the Scott County defense and defensive line is just really applying pressure to Lions right now. He's taking about a 3-step drop, and they're on top of him.
Jonathan Thompson and Cam Keller. Keller goes at 286 and Thompson at 260, falling down on Lions. So if he's not hurt, he's hurting. It is 3rd and a mile. Call it 30. At the Scott County 46. He will get rid of it quickly with Lions. It's complete out to the right side. A little bit of room, but it closes up quickly. Some ankle tackles don't quite get the job done, and he will squirm free to the 38, but still a long way to go. 4th down and 22 for the Raiders. Call it 4th and 23 at the 39.
Let's just hope the punter can't do the same thing he did last time, Cal.
They haven't blocked a kick yet. We'll try the reverse psychology.
Right.
The Cards adept at that, to say the least, but have not done so tonight. Punter is the same as the kicker. Franklin Rogers booted that 31-yard field goal earlier, so they've got some confidence in their kicking game. They won't get to this one either.
No,
if they let that bounce, it'll go to the end zone, I think. Nope. Yes. Ooh. Barely. And I mean barely. They almost stopped another one.
This kid is big time. The kicker's big time. He really is. To be able to almost do that for a second. And he knows what he's doing. He's not just like a lot of the high school kids catch it.
He looks like a college punter.
Yes, he does.
Who can help you with field position. He looks like a punter that Georgetown College would utilize.
Yes.
They do a good job in that game.
So important. See if Scott Kenny can put together a good one here, Cal, and keep this thing, eat some clock up here in the second quarter as we wind down to 6:42 and holding on to a 14-9 lead. Kind of been stale here for a while.
Patton pitches wide to Saylor, I believe.
Jackson Saylor.
Yep.
And he will lose yardage back to the 18. So that didn't go the Cardinals' way, certainly. I don't know. Maybe I don't think enough, but I would be inclined to go with Montego Jones most of the time on first down. Now it's wide for Saylor to the left. It closes down on him. He stutter steps and gets past the original line of scrimmage to the 21, but not a lot there. It'll be 3rd and 9.
No, this Ryle defense, I mentioned Scott County's defense. This Ryle defense is really, put their cleats in the tire out there, as we call it, instead of the turf, because there's a lot of
where the rubber meets the road.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of tire on the field.
3rd and long for the Cardinals. Patton gets the call from the sideline. We'll see what the Cardinals do here. It's hard, again, as we say, to do play action in this situation. They're not going to be biting too hard on the run.
No, we haven't seen.
Now there's a timeout for the Cardinals as Coach McKee wants to discuss it. 6:04 remaining in the half. It is a bye week for Great Crossing, in case you're wondering where they might be at. They will go to Montgomery County next week, followed by Douglas and Grant County on their schedules. So certainly winnable, probably not winnable, and then winnable,
right,
in that order for the Warhawks, who are 0-3, but they're showing some signs on offense, certainly.
They're a really good 0-3.
They have the leading tackler in the state in Caleb Perry, who is averaging 19. Okay, he's averaging 19 tackles a game. Now, we've said that part of the statistic for Scott County is they have so many shared tackles, so nobody piles up a great number. But nobody on their roster even has 19 total coming into tonight. So that tells you how much work he is getting on that defense and making it pay. So, yes, they are better than 0-3. Cardinals are 3-0 on the flip side, looking to go 4-0 and getting a fight. Patton will throw, and it is nowhere near Garner. Garner went one way. Patton went the other with a throw, and he's again lucky it wasn't picked off. So for the second straight series, the Cards will punt.
I don't know the miscommunication there, but again, that needs to be just an end. That needs to be, and I know it's what Coach McKee wants. You want to go as close to the sticks or, and get us a big chunk of yards.
It's just not the bread and butter.
Right.
The plays, the positive pass plays for Scott County are the ones that catch you a little bit by surprise. It's play action. It's the wheel. It's stuff of that nature. Punt for Martin, low snap. He picks it up without incident, gets it to the Ryle 38. Great kick with good hang time. Ryle makes one man miss, but right there for the tackle is number 87 for SC.
That's
Cam Lay.
Yeah.
We don't see him. I don't think of him much on special teams.
No.
We've seen him as tight end, catching a touchdown, as we said earlier in the year. But nice play by Lay to limit them to a 6-yard return. And Ryle will start. This is, I believe, their 5th series of the night. All of the first 4 have crossed midfield if not started there. So their offense has not backed down. A lot of first downs for Scott County. They had 8 in the first quarter, but only 7 points to show for it in that quarter. They got the long pass play to start the second to go up 14-9, and that's where we stand.
And that's about where both teams, there's not much been there.
We have a third quarterback in the game now. It's number 9. Good luck.
Do you have another?
Good luck finding that name. Anyway, we've seen a lot. I'm wondering about it's Logan Verax. He's a freshman. That's why we don't see his name very high in the stats. He has not played this year. I'm thinking there's an injury after those 3 sacks. A lot of weight coming down on Lions, and they've had to mix it up ever since. There's an inside handoff that will gain good yardage to midfield. That'll leave Ryle with 3rd and a long 4. Under 6 minutes to play in the half. They will try to hurry it up. Verax in the shotgun. Good-looking freshman. Tall drink of water.
I'm happy for this freshman.
He's getting some quality time against a quality team. Now he'll change the play, or at least look over to the sideline. Plenty of time to play with on the play clock.
Yeah, he did shift that one up.
Pitch. They were thinking of running a reverse, but Scott County had it covered. But he spins away from not 1, not 2, but 3 tacklers and down the sideline. A flag's going to save the day, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
Ryle with an apparent touchdown. We'll see if it counts.
That is a
I don't think it's going to. Matthias Cusick went the distance.
I mean, it was a broken play, Cal. I think it was going to be a reverse.
It was severely busted. It was going to lose 10 yards if they wouldn't. In fact, it would have been on the ground.
And I think all of our guys went after the reverse guy.
It's a lot of running for naught because it's going to come back because it was an illegal shift. Nope, it's a sideline warning. The touchdown's going to stand. I'm sorry, getting my signals mixed up. Forget that. Ryle takes it to the house. My goodness. So a busted play goes
with a lot of
51 yards.
Yep. Lots of missed tackles.
I hate throwing the flag on the sideline warning. I don't know. They've got to come up with some other way.
They have to. You're exactly right, because that's 2 weeks in a row it's happened to us.
It's deceiving,
especially right in the middle of a play.
And the signal is very similar to a lot of other ones.
Should they not let the play finish out, drop the flag, and just say sideline warning during the yes? I mean,
do you even need to have a flag unless it's an actual penalty? I think you just issue the warning to the bench.
And is the second time a penalty? Or
I think so, yeah. So Ryle back in front. They will go for 2 and chase the points, I think, to try to make it a 3-point lead. Logan Verax, the freshman quarterback, with 4:56 remaining in the half, in the shotgun. But Scott County is in a dogfight right now with the Raiders. Verax with the pitch. A lot of work to do for the running back out there. He pitched it all the way back to beyond the 10-yard line, and it was stuffed. So the point after is no good, but Ryle back on top, 14-15.
Got an answer right here, Cal.
They do that. I mean, Ryle has shown offensively they have no fear. They have crossed midfield every time, as we mentioned. And
look what their defense is doing.
Yeah,
defense is
getting
stepped
stops.
Up. Right. We're punting the ball.
Ryle came in unsung, unranked, 1-2.
Couple worthy opponents,
I would say. Northern Kentucky football, obviously Covcath, but some of the other teams in Highlands.
Oh, yeah.
But it's underrated beyond them, I think. Yeah, there's some quality teams up there. Beechwood, obviously, no slouch. And
Beechwood has a couple of rings.
They know what they're doing.
Ooh.
And Ryle, you beat a team 57-21 on their turf a year ago, and you probably don't think McKee's doing jumping jacks on the sideline. He's trying to get fired up. So if the coach is trying to get fired up, maybe he thinks the team's a little flat.
I think that's the message exactly.
This kicker
It's good.
He kicks it deep every time, just shy of the end zone. Campton Martin will take it at his own 2 and only get back to the 20 once again, not even to the 20. And that's been the problem. Field position has been awful for Scott County. Every drive has started 80 yards or more from the end zone.
Okay, we're not putting bodies on bodies there on the kick return. I mean, I watched it right there, and guys are just running through and just getting to the ball carrier too soon.
So SC trying to get a patented SC drive going. Run the rest of this half and get some points on the board and maybe take the lead and get some positive energy going into the break. But they've got 80 yards to go. Patton hands off to Jones. Not much doing there. 2 yards at most before Ryle converges. 2nd and 8. Jones, 12 for 76 in the first quarter, but he hasn't had a lot of room to roam here as they've been in the shadows of their own goalpost for much of this quarter.
We're not getting anything really at all going either around the ends or up the middle.
Handoff wide to Martin, spins past the 25, where it'll be 3rd and 4. Martin has 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving tonight. That's been the story for the Scott County offense, which trails by a point, 4 minutes to go and rolling in the second quarter. Big play here. They've had 2 consecutive punts, have the Cards, and got to move those chains. Bad snap, miscommunication, pitch. They make it work, it looks like. Cut back for Saylor, but it gets stopped shy of the stick.
Yeah, but
he had some room out there, but he hesitated a little bit, and Ryle was all over it. It will be, now you're in a tough situation.
Like
4th and a yard, and I think you've got to do something to breathe some life into this stadium if you're McKee.
And I exactly right. And I think Coach, I commend him for that right there.
Going to tick down to 3 minutes before they snap it.
Yeah.
4th and 1. Here we go from its own 29. Scott County. Well, they don't even try the hard count. It's just Jones up the middle for the first down. Fresh set of downs for the Cardinals. 2:55 before the half. They are down 1.
There's a little life in the stadium.
They got to get that tempo going. And that's another thing they haven't been able to do because they've been
getting stuffed,
playing for their lives here in their end of the field.
Good kicker pins you down there, but then you're just not getting offensive production right now.
It's been a field position kind of game. Ryle's had it. Scott County has not had it. Another wide run from Martin.
Oh,
he gets tripped up at the 36. Didn't gain a whole lot. Call it, they'll mark him ahead to the 36. Yes, gain of 4. But an ankle tackle there by Nathan Yowen.
After taking a stiff arm.
Yeah, the patented Campton Martin stiff arm. There's Jones up the middle. Low center of gravity. Gets 4, maybe 5. Another 3rd and short. Clock ticks down to 2 minutes to play.
Coach has them speeding up here just a little bit.
Line of scrimmage is at the Cardinal 41, so they've got 59 yards to go, or a little less than that for field goal range. First down and more for Jones, close to midfield. He'll be stopped at the 48. They've got 1 timeout to play with. The clock will stop to move the chains at 1:44. Play getting sent in quickly. Now the officials will roll the clock, 1:42, 1:41. Patton up behind center. He will drop back and throw it over the middle, but it's overthrown. He had his man down there wide open and didn't put enough air under it. 5 yards beyond where Martin was in his not quite full run, but I don't think even if he had been, he would have gotten under it.
Right.
I think he knew from the get-go that it was.
It's easier to sit here and say that Zane needs to let that happen just a little bit, but he had 2 guys that were running free down the field there.
The good news for Scott County, the clock stops with 1:25 to go in the half. It's Jones again. He will get almost nothing, maybe forward to the 49. Now you got to think about maybe using your timeout. It's 3rd and 9, 75 seconds.
Yeah.
Patton to the sideline, taking a long time to get this play in. It will tick down to a minute. Under a minute now. Natives, the Scott County fans getting a little restless, I would say. It's safe to say over here.
Yep, very much so.
3rd and 9, ball finally snapped with 42 seconds. Patton throws deep again, overthrows again. And now will they punt? 38 seconds to play, 4th and 9 from their own 49. Yes, they will, it looks like.
Don't really get where he's throwing it there, Cal.
Just chuck and pray.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not even, there's got to be somebody in the vicinity of the ball.
Scott County is going to go in trailing. They trailed Bryan Station early in the season. That's did they trail GRC last week? It was tied. I don't remember if they ever fell behind them.
I don't think they ever fell behind.
I think it was 14-7.
Yeah.
But the trend has been 3 of the 4 weeks. The first half has been close, so this is not surprising. Martin with a good kick bouncing to the 10 where it'll be picked up. Not terrific coverage as they return it to the 25 before Paul Garner is there to take it down. So some time was killed, 28 seconds. Ryle, as we mentioned, will receive the kickoff, so I don't think they'll probably throw caution to the wind here, but we'll see.
I think Coach McKee is asking Paul Garner here about the route that he ran or something, because it's quite obvious somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be on a couple passes there, Cal.
Yeah, both of those were just to nobody in particular.
Right.
Handoff inside, can't get away. It's a tackle for not a loss, but nothing there. The 76 and 63 once again. Isaac Krebs, he's had a ton of tackles for loss this year. Jonathan Thompson there to help. We're down to the last play more than likely in the first half. Under 10 seconds here. They might even just let it run. I think so.
Just take it to the
starting quarterback Braden Lyons back in the game. That's good news for Ryle. The better news for Ryle, they will go into halftime with a 15-14 lead. The Raiders from Union, Kentucky, up from NKY, coming down here to the central area, and they are putting on a show tonight. They are up over the favored Scott County Cards, 15-14. We'll get some halftime stats for you. We will thank our sponsors once again. Why don't we do that while we got a little moment?
Absolutely. Thank you to all of our sponsors who make this broadcast possible for us to be able to bring the Scott County games and the Great Crossing games to you guys. Bluegrass Orthopedics, serving athletes of all ages. Georgetown News Graphic. Denise King, certified public accountant for your tax and auditing needs. Brickhouse Properties and Real Estate, buying and selling made easy. Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Kentucky. Gosh, that's hard to say.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Clark's Pump and Shop, return, refresh, refuel. Clark's Pump and Shop with 3, soon to be 4 Georgetown locations. Georgetown Community Hospital, where your health and safety remain our #1 priority. West Banco, by all accounts, better. Greens Toyota of Lexington, great people, great cars, think Greens. Oser Paint and Flooring, your hometown paint and flooring connection. Scott County Veterinarian Clinic, we love and treat your pets like our own. Come join the Scott County Veterinary Clinic family. People's Bank, working together, building success. Come see us at 101 Canewood Center Drive. Time to Shine Car Wash. Your car will shine at Time to Shine Car Wash. 8 locations, Lexington locations, to serve you. Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to meet all your insurance needs. Burger King, home of the Whopper, 2 Georgetown locations, and Domino's Pizza. Check out our new Georgetown location on the corner of Champion Way and US 25. Thanks again.
I finally looked at it when I drove by. I've never seen a Domino's.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Complex. I would call it a complex because it's quite like that one.
A club, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Domino's Club.
Exactly. You could have a pizza party and then some there. When all this COVID hootenanny finally goes away and such things are possible again. It's been a strange season, but we are halfway through it tonight. Regular season-wise, this is week 4, well, almost halfway, 4 out of 9, as we will get the stats delivered to us. Much appreciated from WL Stats and Steve McLean. 18 for 95, Montego Jones with that 31-yarder that he busted off early in the game. Jeremy Hamilton, 4 for 37. Campton Martin, 6 for 32 and a touchdown. Jackson Saylor moving the ball well, 5 for 31. So the Cardinals, 187 yards on the ground. It doesn't feel like that lately.
No,
a lot of it was
well,
accumulated early.
That, Cal, because the last, 4 possessions, we got nothing. 4 to 5 possessions, we got 0.
Yeah, it's been a game of field position. Ryle has had it. Scott County has not. Patton 1 for 7. We mentioned some of the difficulties. Guys being open, but guys not running the right route or whatever. Martin did catch the 56-yarder for the score on the very first play of the second quarter. He has punted it 3 times, has Martin, for an average of 40. That's helped the Cards' cause, certainly. Defensively, Cade Tackett has been on 5 total tackles. Cam Keller and Jonathan Thompson, they've done a nice job getting in the backfield and putting the hurt on Braden Lyons. Lyons had that impressive first drive. He threw the touchdown pass to Grayson Barber, the 28-yarder that got Ryle back in it, answered the 12-yard run by Campton Martin. That made it 7-6, and then Franklin Rogers kicked a 32-yard field goal with 1:19 remaining in the quarter. And that put Ryle on top 9-7. We mentioned this 56-yard pass from Patton to Martin. And the bench kick to make it 14-9 early in the second period. But after that, the next Ryle series ended in a punt that pinned Scott County inside its own 1, and the Cardinals have never really recovered from that.
I was getting ready to say, Cal, that has been the turning point at this point is that punt.
Yeah, that and just not being able to get out of that end. Ryle capitalized on the field position. But it wasn't really the field position. It was the busted play, the 51 yards. Matthias Cusick looked like a reverse that was late to develop, and he just shut it down and kept it himself. Looked like maybe he could have been stopped for a loss. Instead, he scampered down the far sideline, the visiting sideline, for a long score. That was only his 4th carry of the night. He has 72 yards, most of it on that 51. Ryle has rushed 14 times for 68, thrown 4 for 8 for 83, so 151 total yards. Scott County is outgaining Ryle by 92 yards, so the scoreboard tells a different tale. Scott County just got to get a stop and get some field position, and I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be fine, but it has been an interesting story. Tackles for loss, we mentioned Scott County with 4, but Ryle with 3. Gabe Savage, 10 total tackles. We mentioned Savage was their leading tackler. That trend has not changed. 9 of them are solos, as he's done an amazing job for the Raiders, who have come in here fearing no one and fearing nothing. And they look like a team that's confident they can go back up home, the long bus ride, back to Union with a victory. But they've got 24 more minutes to get through. And we know Scott County, a lot can change. They piled it up both against Great Crossing and GRC.
Yeah, they're very much a second half team. And then that, it's just a testament to Scott County's strength and their conditioning. And this is where it takes place right there in the third quarter when, again, our offensive line starts to take over and Montego Jones, it starts to open up things for him. And then great things around. Once that happens, everything else seems to be a positive as well.
You can keep talking because it's hard to eat a cold Snickers bar on the air. I just learned that the hard way.
Again, have to get something positive because Scott County's going into the locker room with a little bit of a little bad body language and not very much positive happened there in about the last 8 minutes of the game, 8 minutes of the quarter there.
Offensive player of the game tonight will be presented by Time to Shine Car Wash. As we mentioned, many locations in the central Kentucky area. I know they have one over adjacent to Walmart. If you're over there in Clark's Pump and Shop, I'll be stopping there on the way home for beverages after the post game. It's their defensive player of the game award tonight, and we look forward to presenting that. It's anybody's ball game right now for Scott County. I like some of the unsung guys. We haven't talked about Cam Keller a lot this year. We haven't talked about Jonathan Thompson. Certainly Cade Tackett is a threat there. And, a couple of close calls for Campton Martin. Almost had that interception that would have been 6, as we mentioned. So.
Absolutely. And I like the guys, Thompson and Keller, you mentioned up front because Mr. Lyons was on his back several times there. They went through a period there where we weren't moving the ball, but our defensive line was unbelievable when they were trying to pass. They couldn't get another pass off. So yes, the unsung heroes up front are doing a heck of a job. Scott County's defensive line.
Field position and down and distance, I would say.
Yep.
The Scott County offensive side of things. When they were getting 2nd and 4, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, good things were happening. When they had to deal with 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11,
it's tough.
Not so much.
So. Right, absolutely. Yeah, you keep yourself in doable third downs, you're going to find a lot of success.
Yeah, they got in that situation inside their 1. They threw it on 1st down. I thought it was a good play because the element of surprise there, but then you're kind of throwing a play away if you don't complete it. They did have to punt. It was a decent punt, but that 51-yard touchdown. And they were backing Ryle up at that point, too.
Right.
Ryle had a couple of fruitless drives where they had good field position and hadn't been able to take advantage of it. And that really swung the gate toward the Raiders here as we work our way through halftime. The band, Scott County High School band.
A small portion
of it. I don't know if there's a thematic night or what. Different apparel there. Got a little bit of tie-dye going on.
No matter what, they do a fantastic job.
It's always entertaining, the pageantry, even at a year where the tickets are limited. And just want to thank you all for joining us. We look at the numbers, both video and audio, every week, and it's rewarding, humbling, and all that to see the support, not just for us, but for these kids. They deserve it. It's a tough time to be a high school athlete. A lot of uncertainty coming into the season, a lot of uncertainty week to week, day to day. You don't know when your next game will be in a lot of cases.
Right.
And, your support of NFHS Network, not just football, but soccer and volleyball and some of those other sports, certainly important to those kids. And your support of newsgraphic.com, certainly important to me as I try to bust tail and support them as best I can as well. And we are getting toward the end of the regular season in some of those sports. District playoffs a couple weeks away.
That's hard to believe.
Hard to imagine since we started after Labor Day.
Right.
Started on Labor Day, actually, which was late this year, September 7th. So Great Crossing boys soccer just played its 4th, actually boys and girls both played their 4th game of the season the other night. So they lost a full 2 weeks, both of them. Kind of hard on them this season especially, but both having a great year. Combined 6-1 and 1, I believe, going into tomorrow. Doubleheader here on the other side of the A-frame. If you can get out, great thing about the soccer field here is you can park on the fence, by the fence on the Elkhorn Crossing side.
That's right.
And watch the game for free, and you don't have to worry about having a ticket or anything like that. Of course, social distancing is encouraged and masks and all that, but you don't need a ticket. You can come watch the game and support the kids. So keep that in mind on what looks to be a beautiful Saturday afternoon tomorrow. Girls game guys game at 1:45 and girls at 4. Then next week, both teams on the road. It will be the first week of the season without a broadcast, and we're going to miss that. Certainly, we'll miss all of you, but be on Twitter and social media. I'll have all the updates from. I believe I'll be at Scott County, Grant County at this point, and Ian Teasley will be covering Grant County and Montgomery County for the News Graphic.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be district week as Frederick Douglass will have the bye and the other 4 schools will play one another. Should be a showcase game for Scott County and we would think a winnable game for Great Crossing. So going to be a fun night.
Yep.
If you can avail yourselves of some tickets on the road, go see the teams, but certainly stay tuned. We'll have frequent updates online and stories after the game at newsgraphic.com. Then beyond that, we'll be back with a homestand for Great Crossing. A couple of weeks in a row for them, I think 3 or 4 actually, to wrap up their regular season. So a lot of action still to come here at the Nest as we go through the month of October and then into the playoffs in November. We'll have the Scott County Frederick Douglass game, knock on wood, if the COVID map permits. That date expected to come out this coming week officially. Unofficially, I can tell you it's one of the last 2 weeks of the regular season. So plan accordingly if you're able to be here for that. If not, make your plans to watch or listen to us.
I say to do that.
I say
That's probably a good idea.
I say that's always a good bet. We'll try to entertain you,
Right.
and we don't need much help tonight. The game has been outstanding, and looks to continue to be. Ryle looks like a team playing with a high level of confidence. They don't know they're supposed to be afraid of Scott County. They don't play Scott County every year. Some of these teams are on the schedule fairly commonly. They get tired of getting beaten like a drum, and it's business as usual. But for Ryle, as long as they could wipe last year's slate clean in their memory bank, no reason to think they couldn't come out in here as a quality 6A team and at least throw a scare into Scott County. And they've done more than that with a 15-14 halftime lead.
Well, and the thing about it is in my mind, I'm thinking I also saw Clark County tied up at 14. And then 28 points were reeled off from there. So from Scott County. No, more than that. What do we have? 42 or 49?
42.
42, yeah. Absolutely.
Halftime brought to you by M&M and Mars.
And Snickers.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Snickers that are disappearing from Cal and I.
Mm-hmm. And Simple Truth Water, courtesy of Kroger.
Yeah. Folks, we gotta have a snack too.
Mm-hmm.
We're human.
We're jonesing at this point.
Right. I did it with the Skittles last week. I didn't think I was gonna be able to put them down.
I want to thank Coach Paul Raines for sitting in last Saturday night. You mentioned we talked off the air about the Great Crossing game, and Shelby County, an impressive performance for the visiting team, but Great Crossing put together some good stuff at the end of that. And Coach Raines, he certainly has forgotten more about football than I will ever know, and to have him here just to tell us what was going on. He was kind of like Tony Romo at times. I felt like he knew what was going to happen, and why wouldn't he? He coached the team last year. And it was just great to have that perspective. And
Cal, I feel like you're kind of beating around the bush there and saying
no,
that the knowledge of your partner.
I'm saying if you could have a substitute, it's good to have a good one.
Okay, I can do that in basketball.
And
I can tell you the play before it's coming. All right.
That's right. You're the man. you have the basketball acumen there. No, you have the football also. No, it was just. It was an entertaining broadcast.
Yeah.
I thought went back and listened to it, and as ours will too. As I mentioned, Coach McKee's been tuning in midweek to tell us what he thinks of us. So it's good to have that perspective from the coach too. If we get feeling too good about ourselves after these broadcasts, he puts us in line.
Oh yeah,
it's good to hear.
Well, we get to spend this 2.5 hours judging him the whole time, right? And his play calls, and I think he knows a little bit about what he's doing.
That's kind of what he said. He said, I can give you notes, you can give me notes, and we'll compare notes. I said, okay,
absolutely,
that sounds good. It's going to be an interesting second half. Scott County not always in this position of being down. They're not going to have the ball first, so they're going to be relying on their defense to kind of get a stop and get some forward momentum and kind of give the offense the field position they have not had in a good long while, since the first quarter, really.
Cal, I'm going to break into something here. I've been sitting here watching as I've been really impressed with their kicker. I'm watching him hit from 50 here. He just hit 2 from 50.
He's fixing to kick at least in Mid-South Conference or somewhere
you're
in college.
Exactly right. So
I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Heck, if he's hitting from 50, he may go right there to Nippert Stadium.
He might be kicking somewhere else.
UC.
Yeah. Why not? Or at least an FCA, and maybe a Xavier or Dayton or somewhere.
What a weapon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scott County, the first possession for Ryle, for both teams, of course, is just extremely important here. And let's just hope Scott County kind of ironed out the pass situation there, because they're going to have to use it. They always have. They've been good about pulling out some big third downs in previous games, and now with what happened in the first half, there just were a couple things besides the Campton Martin touchdown.
Here's the deal with Scott County. Their successful pass plays are on 1st and 10 or 2nd and 2.
Element of surprise.
When it's 3rd and 12.
Yep.
Sometimes
you're supposed to pass.
Yeah. And when you're a team that doesn't, it's even magnified for the defense. They can pin their ears back and know know what's coming. And Scott County dodged some bullets. There were 5 or 6 near interceptions in the half. A lot of the incomplete passes were closer to Ryle defenders than they were to Scott County receivers. So that trend does have to change.
Yep. And again, much of Coach McKee's success comes from making adjustments and rolling out.
He's been there a few times.
Absolutely. Rolling out in the second half, close the book on the first half and move on. He's great about that.
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 220 wins by now at Scott County. Had a few at Oldham County before that, I believe. He's in his 24th season. For those of you, most of you who are tuning into this game know all about Coach McKee and the legacy. 12 consecutive 10-win seasons. That's the only reason that would be in jeopardy this year is because a couple of games were lopped off the schedule at the beginning with the COVID situation. But he has guided this program to some major heights. Obviously, the 2013 state championship, multiple state finals, I believe 3 other state finals.
Right.
Most recently, 2 years ago. It's been tough sledding these past couple of years, being in the same division, district/class with Frederick Douglass. But again, build up some confidence here. If you can get a win here, the rest of the district schedule looks pretty clear going into that game toward the end of the season, and take your best shot at home.
That's the good part about that.
And then see him again a couple of weeks later in the playoffs. So Baines will kick off to Ryle. Yeah, that kicker/punter has been the MVP of this game right now, as far as I'm concerned. Just the way he's swung the field position in such a negative direction for Scott County. They just could not dig out the entire second quarter other than the one pass play. Kickoff will come down at the 15. And Ryle gets another decent return out past the 30, up to the 35, where they will go to work. The Raiders have mixed it up with the quarterbacks tonight. Their starter is Braden Lyons. He's been in and out. They also had the Wildcat with Lucas Kohlmeyer on the Wildcat. They had Logan Virax, a freshman who threw a ball. He was in there on the drive where they scored on the long run.
And he's going to go in the locker room and say, "Guys, I handed the ball off."
He's like, it's like the NBA. I'm a plus minus
right.
or NHL. I'm a +1 right now.
I drove you all down that field.
Lyons is there though, and a slant that's dropped, and it's a good thing because it would have been a first down and more.
Yeah.
By number 17 for Ryle. So that play was well developed, and he had a big cushion. That's Jackson Mcginnis. He's caught 7 passes on the year. We didn't hear from him. He's the only receiver we didn't hear from in the first half of their top 4. So
I think you're going to see, Cal, where they saw how wide open that was. They're going to go back to that.
I think so, once or twice. They're going to pitch it here and hand off to number 2. He's going to get wide and get a first down past midfield. All kinds of daylight before he finally steps out of bounds. Matthias Cusick, he hasn't carried the ball a ton. He had the touchdown run. He averaged 18 yards a pop because of that touchdown run. This one's going to come back, though. We got a hold. That flag was way on the other side of the field
I didn't see it.
After he hit the corner.
Yeah, I was watching how fast he hit that corner.
So it's going to be second and 13, rather. They had the incomplete pass. So second and long for the Raiders, who have burned up only 18 seconds of this third quarter. Lions under pressure, middle screen, well designed, and unless he falls down, he's got a first down. Took Cusick a little while to get his footing, but once he did, he was into Scott County territory at the 48 before A.J. Young and Campton Martin finally bring him down.
Fantastic playing call.
That's just textbook high school football. That middle screen run exactly the way you need to do it.
The floodgates opened up, and you defensive line are thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is an easy sack." Wait a minute.
They were selling out all the way.
Wait a minute.
Lyons has done a good job back there. He's going to throw deep on the slant, like you said. They went from right to left this time instead of left to right. It was a different receiver, but Jamison Smith is there.
And that's a catch, and then someone not even within 5, the defender's probably not within 5 yards of once the pass is caught.
Smith 3 grabs for 32 yards tonight. He takes it down to the Scott County 35, and Ryle has been in Scott County, other than the drive that ended on downs to end the half, or ended with the half. They've been in Scott County territory every drive tonight, and there was another first down, a throw to number 29. He's just mixing it up big time with his receivers. It'll be a first down at the 23. Ryle just with an incredible amount of playmakers. You can't pin them down to any one thing.
And there's no way they can all be seniors, so the future's probably bright for them.
That's a number that, again, is not even on their program.
Gotcha.
So it's they're bringing them from deep in the playbook. Quarterback draw, and it's snuffed out pretty well by Cade Tackett. Belly-to-belly suplex for no gain.
That's what to me, I think sometimes, and that's my opinion, I think offensive coordinators overthink things. You got us rocked back. You got Scott County rocked on their heels with some slants that are, again, the slants, those really not even contested. And then you go with a quarterback draw to basically waste a play is what it did.
Yeah, they have mixed it up, and that's mixing it up a little too much, I think.
If I'm going to mix it up, I'll mix it up Mr. Cusack.
Get a little too cute. A lot of time to throw again, but it collapses on him, and it's another Scott County sack, the fourth of the night.
Got flags back here.
I think it'll be a hold, though.
That was a coverage sack there, Cal. Big time. He had time to throw, and our guys downfield had great coverage.
Elijah Adams there along with Cam Keller once again. Keller has been in on just about every stop behind the line. Ryle's signaling it's on Scott County.
Well, the back, I think one of the back judges do it, so it may be a defensive holding back here on because when I say that, it's because how well the receivers were covered.
Yeah, that was
a little too well.
I was going to say it went from being a coverage sack to being there was a reason for it.
Yes.
Marked all the way up at the 13, where it will be a Ryle Raider first down with 9:55 to play in the third quarter, and Scott County needs a stop. Handoff, sweep to the left, covered pretty well by the Cardinals. They stop him shy of the 10. Carry by Jace Harden.
I think we're going to see an end zone slant coming shortly, Cal.
I think we've gone to that play twice on this drive. If we're the Ryle Raider offensive coordinator, what can we do here? 9:30 to go. Scott County still has not had the ball here in the second half.
Yeah, see, there's no middle coverage out with the receivers there, so the middle is going to be open if they choose the receiver gets to the inside.
Braden Lyons in the shotgun. He's under duress. He sidesteps it to his left and overthrows it in the end zone.
It's a good throwaway.
Good throwaway, but good coverage and good pressure. So the chess match here is now 3rd and 8 from the 11. Lyons in the gun. He rolls to his right. He thinks about throwing. Now he tucks it in. He's going to get sacked.
Atta baby.
Looks like Cade Tackett on the other side of the field. Or was it Elijah Adams?
Ryle can take chances
it's
because
Tackett.
of
their kicker.
The kicker. Exactly right.
They've got a chance to make a field goal here. It'll be about a 32-yarder once again. He's made one from that exact same distance.
Scott County dug their heels in right there. I like that. They did a good job. Good momentum there. Good positive outcome.
If you can hold them to 3, 0 would be good, but that one is true. That would have been good from 50.
Yeah, it's just easy.
Franklin Rogers has a foot. For the second time tonight, Franklin Rogers splits the uprights from 32 yards. It's Ryle 18, Scott County 14 with 8:25 remaining in the third quarter. Want to do our third quarter sponsor announcements while we have a moment?
Absolutely. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We will continue to say that over and over because without them, we absolutely could not pull this off and bring these games to you. Bluegrass Orthopedics, serving athletes of all ages. Georgetown News Graphic. Denise King, certified public accountant for your tax and auditing needs. Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, buying and selling made easy. Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Kentucky.
Joe.
Yes, sir. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel. Clark's Pump and Shop with 3, soon to be 4 Georgetown locations. Georgetown Community Hospital, where your health and safety remain our number one priority. West Banco, by all accounts, better. Greens Toyota of Lexington. Great people, great cars. Think Greens. Oser Paint and Flooring, your hometown paint and flooring connection. Scott County Veterinarian Clinic. We love and treat your pets like our own. Come join our Scott County Veterinary Clinic family. People's Bank. Working together, building success. Come see us at 101 Canewood Center Drive.
Rogers with a kickoff that bounces past both Cardinals to the 1.
Yep.
But I think it kind of outkicked their coverage a little bit because they brought it up to the 30. Looks like Jeremy Hamilton went back and got it. There's been a ton of miscommunication on the kick returns tonight, but this time it actually worked out for the best. As you were saying,
Time to Shine Car Wash.
presenters of our award tonight.
Your car will shine at Time to Shine Car Wash. 8 Lexington area locations to serve you. We also have, this says 8 Lexington area. We have a Time to Shine, right?
Yeah, right next to Walmart. I mean,
thought
I don't think of us as Lexington area.
No.
I refuse that. I decline that
Right.
description. I'll fight it till the death. Patton under center. Hand off to Jones. Jones will power his way up to the 35 for a gain of 5.
Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to meet all your insurance needs. Burger King, home of the Whopper, 2 Georgetown locations, and Domino's Pizza. Come check out our new Georgetown location on the corner of Champion Way and US 25.
They marked it back as a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Some of the best field position Scott County's had in a while to start a drive. Actually, probably the best of the night was at the 30. Once again, Jones, a lot of power this
There we
time off
go.
left tackle up past the 40. They'll move the chains as he gets to the 43, gain of 9. Jones is up over 100 yards.
Yeah, let's see how this, as we always see, let's see how this third quarter goes when Scott, the big hogs up front
I think
take
you
over.
got to let the big hogs and the big dog eat in the person of number 2. The deuce is loose. They're going to sweep it with Hamilton. It's not going to get much. A little counter to the right, gains 2 before he's wrapped up by Ryle. Gabe Savage, tireless effort from him tonight as he's in double-digit tackles. Raiders have come to play with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. They are on top of the Cardinals, 18-14 if you're just joining us. A couple of field goals have been the difference.
Oh.
And some movement's going to push the Cardinals back 5.
And he got told on. I don't know if that's
Yeah, a little-
Sailor or is that Campton?
Well, we live in a tattle on your neighbor's society now. So.
Right. Absolutely.
But yes, they'll march it back 5. 2nd and 13 from the 39.
Tough down situations, you know.
Yeah, that's just what we were saying at halftime is that the Cardinals just cannot afford it. You know, some opponents, they can get away with it. They got away with it. Nothing against Great Crossing, but Great Crossing is not where Ryle is, and they got away with 17 penalties. They're not going to get away with 10 tonight. Counter to the right for Martin. He only gains back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard beyond that. It'll be 3rd and 10 as they do mark it back at the 42. 6:19 and rolling in the third quarter. Scott County trailing. They trailed into the fourth quarter against Bryan Station.
Need something positive here, Cal. It's, big first down just for Scott County's psyche.
Oh, Ryle moved, but didn't get in the neutral zone,
Nope.
I guess.
Nope,
Now
somebody did.
Now what are they going to say?
Did they blow it dead before?
Timeout.
Okay. Yep.
So Scott County will use one of its 3 timeouts. That could be significant later. 5:59 remaining third quarter. Cards trailing by a score. Well, a touchdown. 2 scores if you're counting field goals because Rogers has kicked 2 of those of matching distance of 32 yards. The Raiders have put the Cardinals on their heels ever since late in the first quarter. That big play touchdown by Campton Martin was it in the
Huge.
second.
Yep.
Now, right now, that's what's kept them in the ball game. Martin has both touchdowns, a 12-yard run and a 56-yard reception from Zane Patton. It's the only pass completion of the night for the Cardinals, who need one here. It's 3rd and 10. And the question is, we've talked about how Tego and the big boys up front will wear you down. Can they wear Ryle down?
Well, you got to get some momentum and cut out the penalties first. That's what happened. We're at 2nd and 2nd and 8, and we go back to 2nd and 13, and you run up the middle there. Now you're at 3rd and 10. Just seems like we can't get those.
Tego's not even in the game right now, so it'll definitely be a pass situation. Patton's going to bootleg left, but he's not going to get the first down or even close.
That might have been Campton.
Oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. It's the way he runs, lower to the ground.
Yes.
And it's the Wildcat that they tried last week. It worked last week coming at us. This time going away from us, it only gained a yard. And Campton will stay out there because he's going to have to punt for the 4th time tonight.
4th time.
He punted, I believe, 5 times on opening night.
Yeah.
Since then, it hasn't happened very often.
Say hard-pressed to find anything above 5.
You can't afford to give the Ryle Raiders the ball back too many times because they've scored on just about every drive lately, whether it's 3 or 6.
They're going to play for the return.
And they will get a chance at one at the 16.
Ooh,
they
nice
return
hit.
it for 13 to the 29 before the stick is made. Who was it there? Jackson Albensi.
Yep.
We've got a flag.
Yeah, if they threw that on Campton,
that's not going to make McKee happy if that's the case.
Who is this right in front of me that coach is talking to here in the red?
It's not Campton. Campton's
what
still
number?
on the
What
field.
number is that coach is talking to? Mike, right directly in front of me here. Is that?
Oh, that's 4.
Let's see if Paul Garner did that. Yeah, Paul. If they called it.
Was it a late hit? They're signaling to Ryle, I think.
Okay.
Nope. Now they switched it this way.
They were. Yeah, they were locked in a. They were locked kind of in a little
tussle,
fight over here,
and they caught the retaliation.
Yep.
Well, if they mark that off as a personal foul, it will be again great field position for Ryle at the 46, which is exactly what's going to happen with 5:05 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Make it the 47. So the trend of every drive being in Scott County territory likely to continue.
1st and 10.
In the gun is Lyons. Quick throw, slant again.
Yep.
It's caught over the middle by Will Watkins. He's thrown a couple of bullets to Watkins, and Watkins has good hands. He's grabbed them both tonight.
Just a good timing play right there, and they do a good job. I mean, when
the
you're
3rd time they've run it in the half.
Well, yeah, when you're knocking off, 10 and 12 yards every time you do it.
To 3 different receivers, I might add. Spread offense, doing what it was designed to do. They're doing it more to throw than run tonight.
We need to get some pressure up front. That's way too
all
much time.
day long for Lions. Again to Watkins. Same play will work for another first down to the Scott County 27. And the Cardinals defense is discombobulated right now.
Yep. And it's just straight mano-a-mano. It's one-on-one coverage is what that is. And it's not that we're getting beat, but the receiver is imposing his will. And it's because Lions is not getting any pressure on him there from our defensive line.
Braden Lyons, 4 for 7 in the first half. He has been on fire in the second half. Throws another quick out. It will be another solid gain. That is Mcginnis, his 2nd catch of the half. After none in the first half, we'll get it down to the 17. Another Ryle first down. 3 consecutive first downs through the air.
I can see what Ryle talked about at halftime.
Now you're in a spot where you want to hold them to 3 again and keep it at a touchdown. It's 18-14. It's another timeout. This one for the Scott County defense. They're down to 1 remaining. And still 4:06 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Wow.
Not what I expected to see tonight.
Nope.
I'm going to be honest. I thought Ryle had the chance to come in and keep it close for a half and be a good, certainly a good sparring partner. But when you win with a running clock on their field the previous year, and you don't really see anything stat-wise or record-wise to make you think much has changed.
Well, I just did when I saw the 1-2 record. I'm like, it's going to be, especially thinking about last year. I didn't know who the losses were to.
Yeah, they're quality losses.
Yeah.
Highlands and Beechwood, you're not losing to
No.
some weak opponents, to say the least. So you're losing to some of the powers in that part of the state, in the greater Cincinnati.
It's just great football, really. It's just
Yeah.
hard-nosed, smash-mouth football is what it is.
Yep.
They're going to hit you, and they're going to just keep coming at you.
Tradition rich.
Yes.
Lions in the shotgun. He's hit 3 in a row. A little bit of contact, and there's going to be a flag.
Yep.
It's going to be at the very least defensive holding, I think, on Wilhite. Either way. And the fans again getting restless. They're going to call it pass interference. And probably be half the distance, which means it'll be inside the 10. First, and they give them a fresh set of downs, or will they be 1st and 1? I guess it'll be 1st and less than a yard.
Less than a yard, yeah.
But at about the 9. They'll hand it off this time. Nope, they'll get sacked. They, again, getting too cute.
Yep.
As you said a couple of times,
Don't
why
understand
would
it.
you not run up the middle? Luke Colvin just with an enormous quarterback sack there for the Cards at a badly needed time.
I don't know if he was trying to bootleg right there and just kind of hide it a little bit, but Luke Colvin, I mean, my goodness.
And the handoff, the fake handoff, but it didn't look like play action. It was the quarterback kind of, I don't know what he thought he was going to do. I don't even know if he was mishandling the ball, or by the time he collected his thoughts, Colvin was right there. So back to the original line of scrimmage. Another throw deep to the end zone, almost picked off, knocked down. Beautiful timing by A.J. Young. So Young breaks it up, and the Cards defense coming to life here a little bit. 3rd and 11.
They've done this 2 possessions in a row. They really dig in. They do a good job right here. It's a sign of a great defensive team. Okay, you've mowed down the field on us. Now we're gonna sink our cleats in, and we're gonna hold right here.
Maybe the PI call was the wake-up call that the
Right.
Cards needed. 3rd and 10 from the 18. Braden Lyons in the shotgun, rolls to his right. He's dangerous out there. He throws it on the run. It is caught by Watkins, I believe, on the far side. 1st and goal, Ryle.
Man, you got to play defense on the sticks right there.
Watkins gets it to the 5, maybe just a scotch short of the 5. 3:17. He got out of bounds to stop the clock. And a touchdown would be huge here for the Raiders. You really do need to hold them to 3 if you're the Cards. We'll call it the 6 officially. Handoff to Frost on the ground. Cards ball.
There you go.
Botched exchange, and the Cardinals come up with it.
Ooh, we needed that bad.
Who came out of it? Coming this way, number 70, Isaac Krebs.
How's it, Krebs?
76. Botched exchange with 3:13 and just a huge stop and takeaway.
The defense says, all right, offense, there you go. We did our part. Let's go. Let's see how Scott County counterpunches right here.
So 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 11. Again, horrible field position, but they'll take it in this case.
What do we do here? First play after a turnover.
Up the middle
We Tago
to
it.
Tago.
There he goes.
He
Nice
goes
game.
he
Nice
goes
game.
up the middle for 9 at least to the 20. Second and 1. I'm guessing Tago again. I think you got to get the train going downhill. Nope.
Ooh,
They're gonna
here we
play
go.
action wide open to Colvin. Colvin's out at the 40, past midfield, knocked out of bounds, taken down at the Ryle 36, and
Great play call.
he turned his ankle on the way down to the turf, so he's lying on the sideline right now, and we don't like to see that. A huge play, 44-yard gain for Luke Colvin.
As you said
I'm
earlier,
sorry,
Cal.
Jackson Saylor. I said
Yeah.
Luke Colvin. I apologize.
As you said earlier, Cal, that play on 2nd and 1, not so much a 3rd and 12, a 3rd and 9. That was 2nd and 1, and just the element of surprise, just perfect.
So the play action deep in the right flat to Jackson Saylor. I'll say it again. He might just have a cramp or something. I don't know. Might be the calf. Straight ahead run by Montego Jones. You'll get to the 32. It's a 4-yard gain. So, again, just keeps it on. The more you can keep them honest with that, it opens things up for Tego up the middle for sure.
I think he is working out a little cramp there, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was it. Jackson Saylor with his longest play of the year, I believe. It came on a pass reception from Zane Patton. Here's a run by, is that Campton? Kind of was hiding the ball and hiding his number and hiding everything else. It was.
Jumps up there real quick.
Right tackle gets it to the 26 for another Cardinal first down. So the snowball is rolling downhill.
Yep.
Back to the Tego well again. He'll only get a couple. Time is ticking down in the third quarter, under 90 seconds. Cardinals trailing on the scoreboard, but they've got a potential go-ahead drive brewing here. Second and 6 for the Cards. Again, it's Montego Jones. First down.
Oh boy.
At the 12. Just grinding it out of the Cardinals. This drive started at their own 11 after the fumble recovery by Isaac Krebs.
Just love it later in the game. You just see Tego just step up and just go, you know what, just feed me the rock. I'm gonna get you there. Just feed me.
They've gone 77 yards in a short amount of time, have the Cardinals, helped by the 44-yard connection, Patton to Saylor. Counter
there
to the right. There's Campton Martin for his third touchdown of the evening. Cardinals back on top with 32 seconds to go, third quarter.
Going for 2.
I think I don't know. I think you gotta go for 3 because with their field goal kicker, you want them to only be able to tie. I don't think you want them to be able to kick a game winner. There's a couple of trains of thought there.
Yep.
But I think you take the safe route when you have a kicker who's...
Especially with, we're not even the fourth quarter yet.
I won't jinx him by saying I just did. He's perfect on the season. And you know who else is perfect on the season? Andrew Wilhite, getting the snaps down every time.
And he's made a couple great catches to do that.
Scott County leads 21-18 with 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter on Campton Martin's third touchdown of the night. But that was all made possible by the defense. A couple of plays to get some momentum down there, and then after they gave up the first down, they came right back, and Isaac Krebs picked up the ball off the turf, and the Cards made it pay, made it sting.
Sign of a great team. Gets a turnover and marches down and scores.
Campton Martin, have yourself a season, buddy, huh?
Yep.
Jeez, third touchdown of the night, 9 total. Tonight, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air.
Ryle, number 12. Abram Kuzik, and 14, Caden Garber. Kicking off for Scott County, Jacob Mann.
Cardinals up 21-18. They will kick it away. Last minute of the third period. Kind of a short kick that takes 1 hop to the 15 where Ryle picks it up, and they'll bring it back just shy of the 30.
Might be just about their worst field position all game.
Yeah, they have not been they have not been hemmed in much more than that. They've done a great job mixing it up and keeping the Cardinals on their heels.
26 seconds left in the third quarter. Let's see what imagine Ryle's going to come out. I mean, what they've been doing in the second half has just been working. I mean, it's been a thing of beauty. I mean, besides putting the ball on the ground and fumbling, but to get to that point, this offense has been clicking.
That slant pass has worked 3 times. All 3 times they ran it. But they've also limited his time in the pocket. It's not going to be a sack because he kind of scrambled out of it and got almost back to the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard. Tackett was there. Number 57 was there. Caden True. Whole lot of names get into the tackle statistic column for the Cards in every game. Time has run out in the third quarter. Ryle player gets knocked on his keister, but I don't think there was any play being run. I think it was just the quarter running out, right? No flag.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Your score, Scott County 21, Ryle 18 with 12 minutes to play. We've got ourselves a good one. We've had a couple of good ones here at Bird's Nest Stadium the first month of the season against some tough opponents.
Very good.
The 6A Ryle Raiders have come in meaning business.
Makes our job fun, doesn't it, Cal?
You know, we don't have to, there have been some seasons here, I think probably 17, 18, where Scott County had a running clock just about every week. It was like, okay. But times have changed. And it's no reflection. I don't think it's any reflection on Scott County. They're still one of the top teams in their class. I think they play a tough schedule.
That's what I was going to say.
I think they get everybody's best shot.
Sure.
And I think this is a strange season in a lot of ways, too. I still think they're really at where you would be probably in week 1 or 2 of a regular season, just as far as timing, offensively especially.
There you go.
I say that, but teams like Ryle seem to have that offensive timing down to a science. Jones is up to 134 yards. Cusick is up to 112. So both teams with a back over the century mark. It's only taken Cusick 6 carries. Montego's had the ball 24 times tonight. Lions 8 for 13, 131 yards and a touch. Patton, 100 yards, 2 for 8. So he's gotten his money's worth on his 2 completions with the help of Campton Martin and Jackson Saylor. Hope Saylor's all right. I think he was just rubbing out a cramp, as we were saying. A lot of time to throw, but it's almost intercepted, knocked down by Wilhite. Couldn't keep his hands on it. But it will be 3rd and 12 on the first play of the fourth quarter. Is an incomplete pass.
Braden Lyons is 8 for, that'd be 8 for 14.
Yeah. Verax 2 for 4. They've, as we said,
it's
been mostly Lions since halftime, but they mixed it up before the half. And to their credit, they can do a lot of things to hurt you. Very diverse offense for these Ryle Raiders in the white tops and orange bottoms. Another slant, deep slant caught. Great catch.
It's just a good ball right there. Just
A.J. Young was right there,
well,
but the quarterback threaded the needle.
He really did. He's throwing over top the middle linebacker and then between the safety. That's what makes it just a thing of beauty.
Cusick, who we mentioned, there's 112 rushing yards, came out of the backfield and caught that at the Ryle 45, so they will get a new set of downs with 11:40 to play. Cards up by 3. Handoff to Cusick. He finds room up the middle before he runs into Young, but he drags Young to the 46 of Scott County. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Cusick can scamper.
He's elusive, and he's deceptive, and he's slippery. All those things. 7 carries for him, 121 yards rushing. That's a good average. About 17 a pop. Of course, a 51-yard TD will help that. Ryle with a lot of options on 2nd and 1. They'll throw it to the sideline, completed for another first down at the 37.
Everything is timing, and you see it's just part. Those guys, the receiver will go out and take 5 hard steps and turn around, and the ball will be there as it should be.
Jackson Mcginnis. Lions has mixed it up with Watkins, Smith, Barber, Mcginnis, Cusick. He has weapons, and he uses them all. Ryle driving again at the Scott County 37. They were a field goal away from tying it, a touchdown away from taking the lead once more. Pocket collapses, and he squirms away for a gain, the quarterback.
Yep.
Lions, he actually picked up 3 yards out of that. Hard to imagine. It's at the Scott County 34, 2nd and 7.
Second down and 7.
Had some good games here last year. I think of Manuel and Ballard, and this game is kind of in that vein, along with Bryan Station this season. Cusick to the 30.
He's small, and he takes the first lick. A good sign of a running back, as discussed before. the first shot didn't take him down.
Wilhite was involved in the tackle there. It is 3rd and 3. Under 10 minutes to play at the Scott County 30. What's their kicker's range, I wonder? It would be a 47-yard field goal. We saw him kicking from 50.
I saw him from 50. That he did it twice in a row, and he had some room. It wasn't like it just went over the goalpost and just kind of, flopped over the goalpost. It had some room.
And he was out here like a college kicker the entire halftime, using the little self tee there that sets it up and kicking long-range field goals. We have a timeout. I believe it's Ryle using their first of the half, 9:42 remaining. In the fourth, in regulation, we'll say, because in a 3-point game of this nature, anything's possible. Rogers 2 for 2. He's made them both from 32 yards. It is 3rd and 3. Ryle would like to continue the drive, obviously, at least get closer, if not go ahead. They've been ahead.
Well, right here, it's a down, Cal. Would you you got 3 yards to gain, and if not, I think your kicker, of course, from that distance, you got the low trajectory of coming off his foot as well. It makes it a little bit easier to block.
Ryle led at 9-7. Then they went ahead 15-14 at the half. They kicked another field goal to extend that lead with their first series of the third quarter, and now threatening again. Big play for the SC defense, obviously. There's that slant. It's a low throw. Did he catch it? Cards say no. They rule it incomplete. So now what do you do if you're Ryle? Is it 4-down territory, or do you send out Mr. Rogers? Is it Mr. Rogers' neighborhood from 47 yards?
Maybe in his neighborhood. And that doesn't look like it, though. I don't know.
He wears a lineman's number. I think it's, 94? 94. I don't see him on the field.
Nope.
Lions will deliver the play. 4th and 3.
I'd run the same play, Cal.
I would too. It's worked a lot in this half. He has all kinds of time. Not now. Sidesteps the rush. Overthrows it off the fingertips of Watkins. And the Cards defense holds with 9:30 remaining at the 30.
Thank you, Ryle coaches, is what I'll say for that one. That
Yeah.
was kind of ridiculous there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure those calls.
With Cusack to run away, he at least – you know what? Run a sprint option. Get him out of the pocket. Anyway, that's why I'm up here, and they get paid.
We'll take it.
To coach. That's right.
And now Scott County in the catbird seat, the Cardinals seat, if you were, with 9:30 remaining, and they have the kind of offense that can grind it out. He did so on their last drive.
The deuce is going to get loose.
I think the deuce is going to get loose frequently. It is the deuce, pounding up the middle for a gain of 11.
I was going to say, it's got to be a first down. And these line, you know what? He doesn't do that without his lineman. He's not just taking the ball and running 11 yards. It's the lineman just doing a heck of a job up front for him.
They mark it at the 40, but that's enough for the first down. Gain of 10 for Tego. He tends to get a lot of 10-yard gains in the fourth quarter of games. Other teams kind of get tired of tackling him.
As would I.
Time is Scott County's friend kind of right now, if they can drain a little bit. Straight up the middle.
He's going
Montego for 7.
Yep. He's going to bust one here in just a minute.
2nd and 3. Under 9 minutes. Hamilton was going to come off the field. Now he gives a hand gesture and says, no, I want to stay in.
I think he probably saw the look from Coach McKee, and he was like, no, I'll stay in.
Yep. He gets the hairy eyeball there because
I wouldn't know.
You got to have your two best athletes on the field all the time.
And Cal, I'm sitting here thinking, if I'm an athlete and I'm a player out there, I'm thinking, no way are we, up 3 points. Do I want to come out of this ball game?
Tego stops shy of the first down by about a yard, but they'll have at least one more crack at it. It'll be 3rd and 1. They're at their own 49. He got stacked up after a gain of 2, under 8 minutes to play. Scott County nursing the clock on a 3-point lead over Ryle, trying to go 4-0 on the season. for the third consecutive year. We mentioned it's 8 seasons in a row they have started 3-0. Starting with the 2013 state championship season and every year since. Patton takes the snap, hands off to you-know-who, and he will lean over midfield and get the first down. Montego Jones puts it into Ryle territory as I narrowly saved the player of the game trophies from flying out the window. Tego limping to the sideline. I don't know if it's a cramp. Yeah, it looks like a cramp. It's got all the telltale signs of a cramp. And why not? He's carried the ball 30 times. It's hard to criticize a cramp for a guy that's worked as hard as he has. We hope that's all it is. He's writhing in some pain for sure.
Campton Martin will get his hands on this ball.
We hope it's not an ankle. Yeah, he's rubbing the calf. A flag, maybe some miscommunication with Tego coming out of the game and Colvin going in his place. So they'll march it back 5 yards to make it 1st and 15. And as we've said, that is not Cardinal territory, especially without Jones. Jones is on his feet, but still walking gingerly over here. It's going to be a minute or two.
He needs to have a water bottle in his hand as well.
Get some mustard packs or something.
Yep.
Walking it off.
They'll
go wide with Martin, and that did not work. That was read perfectly by number 21 from Ryle.
Well, I think if I called it up here, I think it was pretty obvious without Tego being in where the ball was going. I wish it wasn't that obvious, but
the Macho Man Gabe Savage was all over that.
Mm-hmm.
It is 2nd and 20. And now, if you're Scott County, you want to use a lot of time, I think, because you're probably going to have to give the ball back to Ryle, barring something semi-miraculous.
Did he go back in? Or is that...
I don't see. It's Colvin, looks like, at fullback. They fake it to Martin. Patton throws wide open his Lay. Lay has the first down at the 30, down to the 25, at the Ryle 23.
Huge.
32-yard gain. Make it 36 on Derek Varney's favorite offensive play.
Sir. Back breaker right there.
Yep, 35-yard strike from Patton to Lay. And they will use all the time they can. This has been a gut check win if Scott County can close it out for sure.
You know what? It shows you really, to me, in my opinion, how good Scott County really is when this has been very lackluster performance tonight. It really has.
In places, I would say it's been spotty for sure. Some self-inflicted things, some,
sure.
There's really, all credit to Ryle's special teams.
Oh,
I think that second quarter was dictated by their punter. But yeah, it has not been. The penalties have kind of reared their ugly head again. Some of the East-West stuff has not worked as well as you would like it, with the exception of a couple of great runs by Campton Martin.
And you look at the passes, obviously Scott County throws very few, but you look at the situations. That's where Coach McKee is so good. Jackson Saylor's, first of all, Campton Martin's touchdown. Jackson Saylor's huge, catch in the first half there. And then, you turn around on 2nd and 20, up 3, and you go 35 yards.
Yeah. So you've had 56, 44, and 35 for your 3 pass completions. 135 yards for the senior quarterback, Zane Patton.
And you know what Coach McKee would tell us? Why do I need to throw a bunch when I can throw 3 times and get all that yards?
That's
right,
it, man. That's how it is. That's the wing T in a nutshell.
That's right.
You load up against the run, and you will pay the price. Yeah, somebody moved. I think it was Ryle, actually. No, they're applauding as if they were drawn. And they will mark off 5 against the Cardinals. False start with 5:11 to go. Ball's at the 29. Montego still trying to run over here.
And Uncle Monty trying to help.
No, yeah, I was going to say, Trainer Dan has left the scene, and Uncle Monty is trying to pep talk him right now. It might be the ankle. It looks like it's wrapped up a little bit.
Hayden Jones gets the call.
Hayden Jones in the game. He gets stacked up quickly. If it's more than a cramp, that's not good.
Well, I will tell you this. I would think Campton Martin can probably bang out about as
He's
many yards as
capable.
Campton could. I mean, as Tago could.
It's a
in this
different
situation.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Second down.
That one is smothered and covered like your
Sounds good right now.
like your hash browns.
Yes. That's Waffle House.
Campton Martin didn't think so there. He lost yardage back to the 28. It is third and a bundle, 14. 4:14 remaining and running.
Well, if this is your situation and you do not get it, you'd like to think that Campton may be able to do a little pooch punt, down and maybe pin them. But you're not going to
Play
worry
action
about
again. Wide open
not
is
gonna worry
Campton
about
Martin. Fourth touchdown of the night. The grand slam for Campton Martin. 28 yards from Zane Patton. And that will just about do it.
Coach McKee's on the field. Oh, that was nice. You know what? I know Campton's had a huge offensive night. Zane Patton, I like it.
He's put the
like
ball
it.
right on the
Especially
money.
after we questioned him in the first half,
Yeah.
what the mysterious receivers that weren't there. Miscommunications, all it was.
Will hide the hole for Van.
Kick is good. And it's a 10-point margin. So 2 scores with 3:49 left. Scott County in good shape.
You know what? Congratulations, Coach McKee, on that play, on that offensive series right there. That was awesome.
Mixed it up pretty well, and the down and distance.
That was a football thing of beauty right there.
They found a way to disguise it just enough. Put the ball on Zane Patton's hip.
I would buy him a cold Coca-Cola for that offensive sequence right there.
I think we got to think about the defensive player of the game being Isaac Krebs for the fumble recovery that really turned this game around.
Yeah, one of the big fellas up front there. I totally agree with you.
.28-yard TD pass. So 56, 44, 35, and 28 now on the 4 pass completions.
I could not do the math that quick on how many yards that was.
That is 163.
Good. Boy, Zane.
But Campton Martin now with 10 touchdowns, 4 of them tonight.
Jacob Van kicking off for Scott County. Again, number 12, Aaron Cusick, and 14, Caden Gardner back for the Raiders.
Short kick, picked up off the turf at the 16.
Keep your ground out there.
And they string it out. He's running backwards, and they take him down at the 12.
Good job.
Great play by the Scott County special teams.
So important to keep your backside over there when you're, the rule when you're opposite the ball, you stay there.
That was a well-executed kickoff. Did exactly what they want to do in that situation. Get it in the hands of a different guy than wants to have it and make him run laterally. In this case, backward. Ball marked at the 13. Ryle's got a long way to go, and they need 2 scores. Braden Lyons has thrown some frozen ropes in this second half.
Yeah, he'll cut a couple.
He's going to put another one deep to Will Watkins.
Nice.
He's got him at the 40. Taken out of bounds by Hamilton.
Jeremy got caught sleeping a little bit there, Cal. I don't think he even thought that was even going to be close to coming at him.
Jeremy Hamilton.
3:30 to play. Ryle capable of getting yards in chunks. They've shown it tonight.
Jeremy's going to go up and bump and run now. He's like, I'm ready now.
Braden Lyons, quite a bit of time. Fends off one final pass rusher before underthrowing his man, and it will be incomplete, second down. Scott County defense trying to get one more stand with 3:24 remaining. It's been a by-committee effort for the Scott County defense tonight. A lot of pressure on the quarterback. It's been kind of feast or famine. As Lyons has had his share of gains. There's another to Mcginnis to the 36. He took a pop.
He did. That's just that's just a hard-nosed kid right there. Take a nice catch over the middle.
I apologize. That's Matthias Cusick. He's the running back who's done so much damage, but he comes out of the backfield mixing. That's a second long pass he's caught tonight.
He's a tough one to see, too.
He keeps a low profile out there. Not in terms of performance, but in terms of kind of just under the radar, the way he physically is built. Another quick slant. No, it's to the sideline. It's Watkins again taken out at the 30, again by Hamilton with help from Young. Watkins, the leading receiver on the season. He'll be the leading receiver on the night. That's at least his sixth catch. Most of them have come in this second half. 2nd and 4 for Ryle. 2:50 to go. Clock stopped because Watkins got out of bounds. We're going to probably see how Mr. Rogers is in onside kicks before this one's over, I would think. Unless the defense can step up here. Too much time.
Good coverage.
It's going to draw a flag there.
That's either going to be
man downfield, I would think.
Yep.
Given that he had about 12 seconds to throw. Or it could be defensive holding. It's one of the two.
Where was the flag thrown? Secondary?
It was thrown here.
Okay.
Kind of from the side judge.
Yep.
Pass interference against Scott County.
Probably, I think there's.
Well, now, half the distance will give them 1st and 10 at the 12.5. So Ryle not going away, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. They trail by 10. Scott County's backs to the wall, though. 2:35 and rolling.
Get you back up off the wall, Cal.
How you going to do it if you really don't want to dance? That pass is completed for only a yard as his receiver caught it and fell down. And Lyons directing Ryle down the field, but time is his enemy.
The time's his enemy, but he still has to use, and again, this is me just being the booth coordinator, offensive coordinator up here for Ryle. Got to use the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's been their bread and butter in this half tonight.
I mean, it's not time. I mean, there's
or
not
this sideline. And they're going to throw it to the end zone. Watkins down there, jump ball just overthrown. Clock will stop with 1:58 left. 3rd and 8. Now they need a field goal, so if they don't get the whole enchilada here, they can kick it.
And then the onside.
Get it to a 28-21 score that would have not happened in traditional fashion in a 28-21 game. As they have made 2 field goals, and that would require a third. Lions on the slant. It's picked off. Nope, it's dropped again. That is about the 4th interception tonight that has been in the hands, fingers, fingernails of Scott County and dropped. Jeremy Hamilton he's had a tough night in terms of hands.
I was going to say, Jeremy, that's why they don't have
get him on the jugs machine this week.
Receiver out here,
And it will be a 28-yard field goal attempt from Franklin Rogers. He is 2 for 2 on the night, both of those from 32 yards. It's on the left hash.
Look at our first block tonight.
I was just going to say, we are due for a block from Scott County. Here comes. Yep, partially. Guess who? Is it A.J. Young or is it Captain Martin? It's Captain Martin. Big time.
Here we go.
And there's the game with 1:52 to play.
Big players,
in big
Shine
games
under the
and big
lights.
spots.
Absolutely. Campton McCaffrey. Oh, he reminds
That's
me
what
of
we
him.
need to call him
Oh,
for
my
now.
goodness.
Campton McCaffrey Martin.
Yes.
And that will seal the deal with 152 left.
Offensive player of the game, Zane Patton.
Yep. Defensive player of the game. Well, yeah, I say Krebs. Assuming he's the one that picked up that fumble. We think he did. That's going to be a run up the middle for 44, Colvin. He's in there for Montego Jones. We mentioned he tweaked his right ankle, we believe. Timeout, Ryle. Is that their last? I think they get one beyond that. 1:46 to play. They can stop it one more time.
Well, I think it's kind of learned a lot tonight. I really think
They learned
there's so many different situations that they haven't been in.
I think they learned that Zane Patton can throw the ball. I think they learned, as if they didn't already know, that Campton Martin should get Mr. Football consideration. I think they learned that their defense can get after the quarterback. I think they showed a little vulnerability over the middle that no other team had been able to really exploit. Maybe great crossing a little bit.
Well, and they're going to come, I hate fast forwarding at Douglas, but they're going to be faced with that. But they're going to have fast wide receivers.
They're going to see a lot more of it.
Strong arm quarterback.
That's a good month away.
Yeah.
But Patton under center will hand it off to Martin. He'll get popped right away.
Ooh.
Ryle will use its last timeout. Timeout. Be 3rd and long. So they may have to punt it. But it will be with under a minute left by that time. 1:39 on the clock. They're facing 3rd and 10 from their own 20. That's his new official name. Campton
McCaffrey Martin.
Like Michael Martin Murphy.
Right. And if people don't know, just watch the Carolina Panthers and watch number 5, Christian McCaffrey, and you'll see how much they even look alike, kind of built alike, and play alike.
Yep. He's a special player. And, as Coach McKee has talked about, that's why he rides him hard, because he's a special player. And I think your best players are the ones that have to take the most criticism and the most, ribbing and all of that. It sets an example.
Yep. He did it to his own boys.
You bet he did. Can you imagine going home with Jim McKee after football game? And I say that with all love and respect. And there's a big gain, a big hole for Colvin out to the 39, and that will do it.
I love it that he didn't go out of bounds either. That's smart.
Smart football.
Part.
He basically took a knee. He kind of waited for them to take him down.
He's a load.
He is. He's somebody that could certainly spell Montego Jones if he's out for any length of time. Although,
let's be honest, maybe. What is
he's a junior. Then let's be honest. The next 2 weeks, Montego is probably not going to be as vital a piece as he will be down the road. So if this is a week-to-week injury, it would be okay. Zane Patton, your offensive player of the game, brought to you by Time to Shine Car Wash, is going to kneel on a 28-18 victory. Isaac Krebs will be your Clark's Pump and Shop defensive player of the game. He got the big fumble recovery as Ryle was going in potentially for a touchdown that could have put Scott County in a bad spot in this game.
Big time.
And it turned into a long touchdown drive for Campton Martin's 3rd score of the night. He ended up with a 4th score later on. 2 rushing, 2 receiving. And that will do it as
teams are, they kind of go ahead and get their handshakes out of the way because you're not allowed to do it.
That's right.
I like that.
Exactly. So you won't allow us after the horn, but we will do it now.
Good
Oh,
Ryle team, Cal. Good
Ryle.
Absolutely.
Certainly worthy of respect. They will fall to 1-3, but they will be a solid team in their district, you would think. I don't even know who's in their district, but I don't know. Maybe one of those early games was a district game, but they are a solid football team, much better than that 1-3 record. Scott County 4-0 for the third consecutive year. They will go to Grant County next week, a game they figure to be a heavy favorite, followed by another one at Montgomery County. They figure to be a heavy favorite, but they'll be tested down the road, as you alluded to.
Yep.
Any final thoughts on this one? I think as I said, a gut check game, and the kind that you've got to win, and they found a way a couple of times in this first stretch.
Absolutely not. And it's, it goes down to the old wily veteran there, Coach McKee, there in situations that we thought they were going to get stopped, in big down situations. And he pulls one out of his hat, and very efficient with the pass tonight. And, congratulations on victory number 4.
A heck of a win for the Scott County Cardinals. They were in trouble until late in the third quarter and turned it around with the help of that Isaac Krebs fumble recovery. To get it done, your final score one more time, 28-18. For Derek Varney, for DT Wells, for Mike and James Scoggin at newsgraphic.com. I am merely Cal Oaks saying thanks for joining us once again. Have a great weekend. God bless you. We will see you 2 weeks from tonight back here for Great Crossing Warhawk football. Until then, enjoy your weekend, everybody.